here for The Athletic about how what Washington is doing, looking like they're going to make a second-year quarterback with one career start, their Week 1 starter, it is more or less unprecedented since 2010 at least. The only other quarterback I could find that had something similar was Trevor Siemian with Denver. He was a seventh-round pick, but all he did as a rookie was take a knee in the game as Peyton Manning's backup. So, that's not even a real thing, and it's the only other guy that has something similar. So I think there's some skepticism about, not even about Sam Howell, but just the idea that this typically does not work with these day 3 picks. On the other hand, there's definitely a vocal part of the fan base that thinks Sam Howell is going to Canton tomorrow, that they are all in on this, that, he's a young guy, which, that there's potential and hope. It's not another, journeyman retread type like they've been going here the last few years for the most part. So I think people are excited about that. And I think there's some reason to be optimistic about Howell. He's got a big arm. He's definitely mobile. He's like a gritty kind of a quarterback to boot. But we'll see. I mean, it's just, he could be the right answer for this franchise and the wrong one for this year when the head coach, as we just discussed, maybe needs to win enough games to make the playoffs. That's the part that's a little bit tricky. But I think he's interesting. And, yeah, there's definitely fans out there who absolutely cannot stand it when anybody says, yeah, but they don't want to hear it.
We're talking once again to Ben Standig, who covers the Commanders for The Athletic, but also Ben as a radio host in Washington, D.C., and is a D.C. local and has covered the Washington Wizards. And I bet if I gave him truth serum, and I won't ask him to answer it, I would say the Wizards are a team that he likes covering the most and a sport that he likes covering. But what did you make of this week for Washington with, basically the fire sale of trades and then also, kind of getting a high upside but potentially very low return in Bilal Coulibaly with the 7th overall pick. So to sum up the final, what the Wizards did, Ben, in the final minute we have with you, what did you make of this past week?
Yeah, it's going to obviously take a long time before we figure out, whether Coulibaly, who's an 18-year-old from France, whether he's the answer, and does Jordan Poole, raise his stock back up while he's here after a bit of a downturn with Golden State last year? What do they do with all these picks? All that is going to be determined. What I think is very important is they actually did this. They actually blew the thing up because Ted Leonsis, the owner, for years has been content to play the middle and just do enough to try to make the playoffs, and it has gone nowhere. They've missed the playoffs for the last 5 years. They had to blow this up. They did it at least a year, if not 2-3 years late. But putting that aside, at least they did it, and I think that's a good step. And now it's up to the new front office to, make good picks and find the right talent. But yeah, I think I speak for many to say we're thrilled that they finally decided to do this because it's long overdue.
Ben, always a pleasure, man. Loved it. We'll talk to you soon.
Awesome, man. See you guys. Thanks.
All right,
Thanks,
we'll
Ben.
wrap up the show and get you updated on Will the Thrills bets.
Switch to Boost Mobile and get the ultra-smooth, ultra-powerful iPhone 11 for $49.99.
He didn't stutter.
See every angle with dual cameras.
Make it a double.
All on America's largest 5G networks.
Large and in charge, baby.
Get with the power of Boost and get the iPhone 11 for $49.99.
That's half of Benjamin.
Boost Mobile.
Unleash your power.
ID verification required. New customers only, and one per line. Additional restrictions apply. See boostmobile.com for details.
Turn your home into restricted airspace. Tell incoming flights you want them diverted. The new Raid Essentials Light Trap plugs into the wall and uses light to attract, then trap flying insects like fruit flies and mosquitoes. Its 24/7 continuous attraction provides insecticide-free protection that's people and pet friendly. Consider air service interrupted. New Raid Essentials Light Trap. Insecticide-free protection.
First Name Sports with Greg Frank.
The current version of the Packers with Jordan Love isn't that bad. In 2022, Aaron Rodgers threw for 3,695 yards, 26 touchdowns to 12 interceptions, and completed 64.6% of his passes. Could Jordan Love give you what Aaron Rodgers gave you last year? I think it's within the range of outcomes. You're hoping that guys like Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs, with another year in the program, can get better. You drafted Lucas Van Ness in the first round to help your pass rush. You already have Jair Alexander, one of the better corners. Can your defense at least be the same? Can your skill guys get a little bit better? Can all of that happen for the Packers? I don't think it's that crazy. So I think if I'm Jordan Love, I'm saying, let's go, boys. I'm your guy now. Come get on my back, and let's go to the playoffs. Should the expectation in America's Dairyland be anything short of that?
First Name Sports, weekday afternoons from 2 to 4 Eastern. Sports Kings with Mean Gene.
It's going to be interesting to see how Fox scale it down with the new host, if they scale it down at all.
Who do you think is a good candidate to replace him?
Oh, I don't know.
You want to throw your hat in the ring?
No, because unlike Shannon, I would probably have to knock the hell out of Skip on TV. It'd be like Jim Rome and Everett, and I don't want to catch a charge. I couldn't take it. They would have to come pull me off of Skip Bayless.
Sports Kings, weekday afternoons from 4 to 6 Eastern.
The Diehards.
I got a picture with Rick Pitino. I don't even know if I have it up here in my wall of fame here in the studio. Not in this studio. And I'm like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever. Rick Pitino is running one of the greatest NBA franchises ever to rebuild them in the glory days. You know, Larry Joe Bird was on his way out, bad back and all, and Kevin McHale's not walking through that door, Robert Parrish is not walking through that door, and you're like, oh my God, Rick Pitino's going to do this. And what's his first move? He fires Red Auerbach. Like, are you freaking crapping me? I almost said the bad word right there. Like, seriously, dude? You have the stones to fire Red Auerbach? Like, the best that ever did it? Are you kidding me? But anyway, I digress. Rick Pitino's a clown. You know the emoji? Think about it. Look, picture in your brain, Die Hard Nation. That emoji, the clown, Rick Pitino.
The Diehards, weeknights from 8 to 10 Eastern on the Sports Map Radio Network.
Wake up call. Christmas Day, the Giants are playing the Eagles.
We said it last year. We're going to say it again. NFL's coming after you, NBA.
Haven't we all determined that they're just letting you have holidays if you happen to be scheduling games? They're allowing your existence when they're playing.
Please stand by for a special presentation of Western Reserve Radio at westernreserveradio.com on the Live 365 network and the Live 365 app.
And we welcome you to Duke Stadium here on the campus of Arlington High School, just outside of Alliance. Western Reserve Radio and the iMeda1 network are proud to bring you Week 4 of the Tri-Point Football League. Cleveland Cobras, they make the trip from Cuyahoga County down here to Alliance to take on the Ohio Gladiators. Hello everyone, Jim Craven with you along with Coach Bob Gessler. Get ready to bring this Week 4 matchup between two of the teams that had a lot of high expectations, Coach, coming in. The Ohio Gladiators 3-0. The Cobras 2-1. They had trip up against the Steel City Bobcats a couple of weeks ago. But needless to say, a lot of talent on this Cobras team, and there's a lot of potential here.
Very much a lot of talent here. But their offense, for the games that I have obviously been able to call, they need to get that offense moving. They need to everything's deep. More intermediate stuff, a little bit more running, get the linebackers up there, and I'm sure they're going to have made their adjustments, and they just need to score more points. There's just not a lot of whole points getting scored.
As I mentioned back on June 10th, the Cobras had their first loss to the Steel City Bobcats. That game in Lakewood, they would lose that one 14-11. However, they would go on the road the following week. Last Saturday, they would travel down south to Southern Ohio to Portsmouth to take on the Port City Spartans, and they would pick up the 17-8 win. And you talk about offense, Coach, The Cobras would get started immediately in the first quarter, get the ball in Spartan territory. They would get an 11-yard touchdown pass from Thompson to Abe Taylor, putting the Cobras up by a score of 7-0. And that came off of a lot of Emmett Calhoun running, building that up. As you mentioned, getting down a little closer to the end zone, throwing it to the big tight end. You had actually talked to head coach Adam Rogerson about that.
Yeah, he mentioned to me that he's got to start using his tight end a little bit more, and I agreed with him. I said that's something that I always looked at. That just you use him as a blocker, and then you sneak him out on some plays, and absolutely that they end up scoring points with him.
And the Cobras, again, would get the ball in Spartan territory in the next offensive possession. This time, it would be Dave Thompson to Matt Wise on a 40-yard touchdown pass. That would be Wise's second consecutive touchdown in as many weeks. He would get a 70-yard touchdown against the Steel City Bobcats. Matthew Wise, coach, one of those guys that didn't start in the beginning of the season. Coach Adam Rogers said he's worked his way up there, and he is paying off.
Exactly, and that's what you want to do. You want to say, hey, you know what, next level, you got to get up here. You want to get on this field, you want to play. You got to prove to us that you can get it done, whether it's in practice or anytime you're spotted in there, you want to get the job done. And then he has done it, and he's worked himself in.
Second quarter action, the Spartans would finally get on the board on a 41-yard touchdown pass. That would only be the third touchdown given up by the Cleveland Cobras in 2023. The Spartans would get the two-point conversion. That would close the gap to a score of 14-8. After a scoreless third quarter, the Cobras would get a 31-yard field goal by Ben Lyons. That would put them up by a score of 17-8. That would be the final. As the Cobras make the 4.5-hour journey down south, they go into a hostile stadium. And, Coach, they pick up the win. That's what good teams do.
Well, that's what you got to do. I mean, it's the name of the game. Whether you win by 1 or whether you win by 30, it doesn't matter. Because when you look back at your season, it's all going to depend on if you're in that championship game with wins and losses. It has nothing to do with your scoring as many points as you score. It helps, but it has nothing to do with getting in the show.
Thank you for joining us again today all across the iMedia1 network. We are attempting to put some video up on Facebook, on Western Reserve Radio, as well as the Cleveland Cobras Facebook page. We're told that Facebook itself is having a little bit of problem. Video you can also pick up on Twitter at WR_radio. That seems to be running okay. And, of course, when all else fails, you can go to the reliable Live 365 app at Western Reserve Radio, Western Reserve Radio 2, and City View Sportscast. And those of you who prefer TuneIn, you can also find us on TuneIn at Western Reserve Radio. We're going to step aside for a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the starting lineups here as we get ready for kickoff here in Alliance. Another beautiful night. We're looking forward to this here on the iMedia1 network. It's the Cleveland Cobras and the Ohio Gladiators. We're back right after this.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
Golf in the Mahoning Valley starts at Mill Creek Golf Course. Come out to the 36 beautiful hole design course by Donald Ross, and golf lessons are available by calling the team shop at 330-740-7112. Don't forget about family fun nights on Friday and Saturday evenings, a family of 4 with cart for only $25. Or visit the Wick Recreation Area and the lighted Par 3 course. Book your tee time today at 330-740-7112 or online at millcreekmetroparks.org.
Located in Applewood Estates in Boardman Township, the Applewood Swim and Tennis Club offers a pleasant family environment. Choose a membership that meets your needs and enjoy a relaxing venue that includes not only swimming for the family, but also youth activities such as competitive swimming, tennis, and more. Enjoy the friendly atmosphere all summer long with the staff and members of the Applewood Swim and Tennis Club. For more information, go to applewoodswimandtennis.com or call 330-953-2833.
You're listening to WRDP, Western Reserve Digital Broadcasting, Youngstown, Warren, Salem, and around the world.
Pregame continues here at Duke Stadium on the campus of Arlington High School. Beautiful facility here, turf, put in the last few years, but a great practice facility also for baseball, soccer, and some other things. So the last time we were here, Coach, it was with the Springfield Tigers in a playoff game. They've even done some upgrades since then, and a beautiful area again. So we're thankful for them having us. David George from the Ohio Gladiators, owner, just stopped up to see us, a former Western Reserve Scourge player, one of the inaugural players, him and his son David George Jr. So, again, good to see all these guys as apparently we've got some fireworks over on the Cobra side.
Well,
that's new, but we'll run with that.
There we go. I like it. That's all right. We get that down at Springfield all the time.
From beyond.
From beyond in the woods.
And because it's on the internet, it's usually about 30 seconds behind, but nonetheless. So we take a look at the starting lineup for the Ohio Gladiators. They went down to West Virginia last weekend to take on the Mountain State Outlaws, and they too would get a close 12-7 win on the road. So a lot of parallels between these teams as they meet today here in Week 4. And for the Gladiators, we've given starters here. Coach has mentioned we have not seen Danny Skalecki, so we're going to kind of wait on that one to see who's going to be at the quarterback position for the Gladiators. However, on the front line from right to left, it's going to be Brent Walker, Austin Roman, Austin Burgess, Mike Finney, Corvez Bolware, and in the receiving core will be Darwin Filey, Devontae Neal Asher, Tony Perrine, and Grant Lisk. The running back will be Monte Taylor, and we anticipated the starting quarterback will be number 1, the veteran, Danny Skalecki out of St. Ignatius High School. Defensively for the Gladiators up front, it'll be Nathan Pritchett, Adam Wise. Well, Coach, you like to Adam Root Beer Wise.
Root Beer.
Dre Hollenshed and Dominic Roper. The linebackers will be Jay Sean Whitman, Russell Terry, and Doak Walker. The cornerbacks will be Guy Lyons and Anthony Spooney. And in the back, it'll be the safeties, Brandon Milbury and Mike Love. The kicker will be Will Shropshire. The head coach for the Ohio Gladiators is Chris Ballantyne. Very familiar with Chris. We played against each other a couple times, and he's doing a fantastic job with the Ohio Gladiators. Take a look at the Cobra starters defensively for them. Up front, it'll be Brandon Antall. Reading the wrong one there, Coach. Defensively, it'll be Andy Code and Harlan Page. And we've seen these defensive tackles, Coach. They've played really well so far. And they've caused a lot of havoc in the backfield against teams they've played.
Yeah, absolutely. Robert Littlejohn, I mean, he's a wrecking. He is definitely a wrecking ball. I mean, you got to know where he's at, and you better adjust your blocking to him because he comes off that ball. Not a real big kid. Doesn't have any thick legs, but, boy, could he motor, and he'll hit you.
Yeah, and again, we talked about, to me, he reminds me of a Jason Taylor, tall, lean, with a long reach, but he has a high motor also. And he has caused havoc in the background. And we talked about the defensive ends. Of course, Robert Littlejohn and DeVere Glenn, the former Inglewood Duck, will be starting for the Cobras. Linebackers will be Dontrell Nolling, Marquise Hodges, and Jacoby Brown, as well as Brandon Fleming. The cornerbacks will be Kev Fortson and Cam McCauley. And the strong safety will be Terrell Lively. Offensively for the Cobras, on the line, it'll be Brandon Antall, Kayshawn Jones, Lamoris Dillard, Taylor Johnson, and the veteran E.J. Bibbs. The wide receivers will be Eddie Edwards, Antonio Boyd, Matt Wise, who we just talked about, and Keyshawn Baycoat. The tight end will be Abe Taylor. We talked about tight ends. Abe, very tall, well over 6'2", 6'3", and he's thick too, Coach, so he's something to deal with.
Yeah, good weapon. I'm sorry, Jim. Go ahead.
The running back will be T.J. Johnson, and the quarterback will be Dave Slap Thompson. The Cobras are coached by Adam Rogerson. And, Coach, there was a coin toss. What were the results of the coin toss?
On the coin toss, Gladiators won the toss, and they deferred to the second half. So this is going to be an interesting game here. Gladiators are throwing their defense out there and says, we could stop you, and we're going to get the field position. So this will be very interesting. Cobras have just got to get moving quickly and score fast and continue to keep them on their heels and out of balance.
And the Gladiators willing to play the field position game here. Again, Cleveland has struggled offensively in the first couple weeks. They found their rhythm last week, especially in the first quarter. Kind of fizzled out there in the first part of the second half, but was able to put up a field goal to seal that one against Port City. Got to see the historic Portsmouth Spartan Stadium down there, and you talked about some of the players that played on that field. There were banners up there that we got to take a look at, and had a real 1930s feel to it still, all concrete stadium.
That's that's amazing that something that old is still standing, and it's still being used, and that's that's exciting. It's knowing that it was NFL related and back in the day. So back in the 30s, did they have helmets? I believe they did. Maybe a little bit leather. Definitely no face masks.
We make the occasional joke about that, but really in that time.
Yeah, it was what they did.
We got to talk to owner Jesse Caldwell from the Cleveland Cobras, and he said that was one of the places he wanted to go. He had the option to make a trip to West Virginia or go down to Portsmouth, Ohio. He chose that, so he got to see that stadium, and indeed it was worth the trip. Kind of a long drive there, Coach, but nonetheless it was a good bus trip for the Cobras as they get the 17-8 win. They could really use that kind of time, especially after the loss to the Steel City Bobcats. Sometimes you just put them in a room together, and that time spent together really can be a benefit to them, especially after that.
Yeah, it's it's getting a team together and long bus rides, and you do a little bit of talking about stuff. A lot of the guys will focus. You hear them game planning. If this happens, that happens. So, this isn't high school kids. A lot of these guys. Going through the rosters and seeing some of where they played. Walsh University, Akron University, Kent, University of Maryland. So a lot of these guys played major college balls or maybe a Division II or III. So these guys have been playing for a long time. And you still got to coach them up. But at the same time, believe me, if they're coachable and they listen to you, they're going to get it done.
Thank you for joining us here on Western Reserve Radio on the iMedia1 network. Of course, you can catch us at westernreserveradio.com. You will have some video. At least Facebook would cooperate. We'll have some video up there on Western Reserve Radio's page as well as the Cleveland Cobras. And if worst comes to worst, you can always take a gander at the Live 365 app where all of the iMedia1 network stations can be found. You can also tune into TuneIn, if that makes sense, Coach.
Sounded like you stuttered, but we'll take it.
All right, it's close enough there. And we do have a YouTube channel at Western Reserve Radio. You can also catch it there. Facebook keeps saying there's a technical issue. We believe it's going to be on their end, so we do apologize for that. We don't do a whole lot of video, Coach. So in our radio careers, we generally try to stay off the camera, and we have faces made for radio, so as it would go.
Faces only our mother could love.
So we are just moments away from kickoff here, 15 minutes up on the board, and the 3-0 Ohio Gladiators will kick off.
As you mentioned earlier, beautiful day. Little humid, but nothing too severe. No sun out beating down on the players, so that's going to make it easy. Maybe a very light wind just to blow it around a little bit, nothing heavy, but as you mentioned before, beautiful facilities. And let me tell you what, there's pastures and farms around us, but they have really done this well. Baseball fields and soccer fields, and this is a nice complex.
As we get ready, Matt Wise and Tyree Knight back to return for the Cobras. Are going to post up right around the 10-yard line. And again, just word that we're having some problem with the video on Facebook. Not our end. We do apologize for that. Kickoff will be at Will Shropshire out of Garfield High School. 5'11", 210 pounds, and we are underway. And that'll go towards the end of Matt Wise. He'll pick it up right around the 8-yard line. Bring it out to the 15. Try to stutter step back, and he's going to be wrapped up. And the Cobras will start 1st and 10 inside their own 15-yard line.
And he was brought down by Cody Horing. I'll tell you what, he did a nice job. He got down there quick, and he squared up and sat down and did an outstanding job on an open field tackle.
Cody Horning. Also, Doug Horning, the general manager of the Ohio Gladiators. Got to assume they're related.
I would imagine.
What would the coincidence be, It's not like a common name like, Craven or Gessler. So 1st and 10 now for the Cobras. 14:53 as we just get underway here on a beautiful Saturday night just outside of Alliance, Ohio. And as Dave is reporting in, still a little problem with Facebook, but says Twitter looks really good. I'm sure YouTube does too.
As Thompson now will be in an empty backfield. We'll send a man in motion right to left. Thompson with the pass out to the right. It's going to go off the hands of a receiver and be picked up at the 31-yard line. That's going to be, not sure what the number, it might have been number 9, so I don't know if you caught that, Coach, but if it was, it most likely was Antonio Boyd.
Yeah, well, actually what happened was it was deflected by him, and the other receiver, I didn't get his number. I was looking, trying to find Boyd's number. He dropped it, and it bounced forward, and the other receiver was able to pick that up.
Antonio Boyd now be to the near side. 4 receivers to the far side for the Cobras. Thompson in the field, backfield by himself. 3-step drop, going to step up in the pocket, roll out to his right, fire, and it's going to be complete out to the 43-yard line. And that's going to be D'Angelo Thompson on the reception, and the Cobras maybe listen to what you said, Coach, just a little bit at a time.
That's all you got to do. And they're taking what they're giving them, and that's what the issue is. They're just sitting down and finding the zone, and they're there.
Full schedule of Tri-Point Football League action. If you're looking in on one of our social media platforms, you can see the schedule at the bottom, and as it scrolls across, a couple early games. We'll try to get you some scores. As they, again, will go 4 wide receivers to the far side. Boyd be to the near side. They'll send a man in motion from right to left. That'll be Martucci. Thompson with the fake. Going to pump it across the middle. Going to be complete out into Gladiator territory. Brought down at the 46-yard line. That'll be Antonio Boyd.
So what we got is we had running back that went into motion, ran a 5-yard out, and the receiver ran a slant, and there was a nice big area where on that slant that he got behind the receiver. So we have a man down, too.
There'll be a little pause and play as we take a official's timeout and take an opportunity to see Corey Williams out there for the Ohio Gladiators, another former Western Reserve Scourge player. It's everywhere we go, Coach, there's a little connection to all these teams, and it's really great to see.
Yeah, it's nice knowing that we're around these young men and stuff. And I just want to point out that Mr. Skately, how do you pronounce? I'm sorry, Skalecki. I'm sorry. He just showed up, so he's warming up.
All right, Danny making the grand entrance here, fashionably late, as the Gladiator player will get a little assistance off of the field, and I don't want to give out a wrong name here, but I believe that's going to be Dom Roper, the defensive end. Listed him as 6'5", 225 out of Norwayne High School. So not a small man, as he'll have to have a couple big guys help him off the field. And it'll be 1st and 10 now for the Gladiators. They'll be at for the Cobras at the Ohio Gladiator 46-yard line. They've started off in this 4-wide receiver set to the far side. They'll go to the pistol formation now. Martucci will be to the right of Thompson. That'll be Emmett Calhoun, the tailback. 1 receiver to each side. Boyd will be to the near side. And it'll be Baycoat to the far side. On the read, he'll give it to Martucci. Martucci will hit the line of scrimmage, run into a wall of white jerseys, and he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's going to be about it.
Yeah, Walker Jr. did a nice job on there. He came up, and he was outside linebacker came. He came and filled the hole up, met him in the hole, squared up, and that went nowhere. The rest of his buddies were there. They should have probably pulled that. They were all over that running back.
2nd and 10 now for the Cobras. 12:48 on a running clock here. First quarter action here on Western Reserve Radio and the iMedia1 network. Baycoat will be the receiver to the near side. Boyd to the far side. Boyd to the near side. Pistol formation again. Thompson now with Martucci to his right. Calhoun in the backfield. Pressure being shown by the Gladiators. They'll read it again this time. Thompson will pull it, and he will be stopped right at the line of scrimmage, and I believe that was going to be Anthony Wise on the tackle. 6'3", 285.
Yes, that's a big boy right there. But what's happening is they're really throwing a lot in the box, and the linebackers are probably only 3 yards off. So what they're going to have to do is, which they're going to have to do is a lot of play action, okay, faking that stuff in the middle, get them linebackers to bite on them. Now start running some curls, some outs, some slants like they were doing to come down the field.
Same formation now. Oh, looks like they'll have a wing to the right now. That's going to be DeAndre Thompson. Thompson in the shotgun now. Slap Thompson in the shotgun. Got 2 Thompsons. Emmett Calhoun to his right. Motion up front. And thought it was going to be a free play, but it'll be a flag. And this is going to be an encroachment call against the Ohio Gladiators. And And that'll put the Cobras in a little bit better position instead of 3rd and 11.
Yeah, see, they're getting real anxious. All they're doing is they're coming like a train. So he's got to, again, like he did, he mixed up the count a little bit, maybe hard counted them, go on 2, caused that offsides, which they got. But now, again, now you got reasonable, you got probably about 5, maybe 6 yards to go. Throw the out, throw the safe, sit down. Because they're going to be coming, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're loading up.
Baycoat and Wallace to the far side now. Antonio Boyd, receivers to the near side. Thompson in a shotgun. Calhoun to his right. And we're going to have some motion up front, and Baycoat took off on the line. So the officials giveth 5 and then taketh 5 away.
Well, that was just and this is something that's going to upset the coaches because you should be looking at that ball. Don't anticipate. Ball moves, you move. As a receiver, you're deaf anyway out there. You can't listen to the count, and that's just not a good that's a dumb mistake.
I also want to say hello to Jalen Dotson, who greeted us when we came into the stadium today. Got to spend some time down there in the Youngstown area, out here with the Gladiators now. Twin receivers to the near side, who have a tight end to the right. Shotgun formation for Thompson. Calhoun to his right. And going to have an illegal procedure call against the Cobras, and they're going to move back. It's going to be 3rd and 16 now for the Cobras, so they go from 3rd and 6 to 3rd and 16.
Yeah, well, you can't – unfortunately, you can't go forward. Once you're set, you can't go forward, and that's what's happened. They're adjusting. I don't know why he would have moved to begin with, so now it just these last 2 penalties have cost them 10 yards.
Dave Ferris back in Youngstown, keeping an eye on things. Twins receiver now to the far side and to the near side. As Bibbs now will point out some adjustments. Thompson waiting for the snap. Calhoun to his right, 3-step drop. Thompson looking out to his right side, fires. Receiver's going to come back. It was caught. Now, was it caught inbounds? They're going to say no. Incomplete. Good effort, smart play on behalf of D'Angelo Thompson, and but just couldn't get his toes in.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that was he throws that a little bit more upfield instead of outside. He had the time. Don't rush. Don't panic. He had him. That could have been a first down.
Ben Lyons now on to do the punting for the Cleveland Cobras. They're back on their side of the field. Make this the 48-yard line.
Owner Jesse Cardwell is trying to say he was in bounds and he had the first down, but when those guys at the stripe, they make the final decision, and you're not going to change it.
Right foot, left foot.
That's it.
Antoine Miller back to return for the Gladiators out of Bluffton University. A little bit of pause here as we get an extra man on the field. It'll be Anthony Neal come on for the Cobras. He'll move to the left side. Ben Lyons doing all the kicking duties. Good snap by Neal. And a good punt. It'll drive the returner back. It'll be fielded at the 15. Brought back inside the 20, 25, 30, and brought down at the 34-yard line, and that's where the Gladiators will take over first time today, 1st and 10. And the Ohio Gladiators 3-0 coming into this game. Eked out a 12-7 win on the road last week down in West Virginia. And something to be said for that when you're going to make a 4 or 5 hour trip, go down there on a long ride, get the win, and come back.
Well, that's what what you have to do. There's sometimes you travel a half hour, sometimes you travel an hour, sometimes you travel 2, 3, 4 hours. I mean, as a football team, you have to get it done. And, of course, they go down on charter buses, so that's helping out immensely.
Yeah, and Jesse Call was always saying, we're going to go that far. We're going on a bus. And
absolutely.
I think that was one of the fun times we had was when we had to take a bus somewhere.
Yeah, but what I liked was, again, I talked about it earlier, the team was very focused going down. We had to travel down to Zanesville. Very focused. We were making runs. We needed this win. And at this level, they don't expect you when you're traveling 3-4 hours to have a full bus. I mean, you're lucky if you usually get 20 guys that travel good. So when we went down there with how many we have on the bus, Jimmy?
Well, I think it held 54 and every seat was taken.
Yeah, so we went down there with 54 players getting off the bus, and the look on their players' faces like, holy mackerel, this is not good. So was a great game.
No style points in that win, I'll tell you that much. But quietest bus ride home.
Yeah, after all the rain delays, the heat, and everything else, and win at the last minute, I mean, kind of took everything out of you. Here we go.
Gladiators now with receivers, twin receivers on the far side and the near side. Galecki in the shotgun. He'll hand off. And it'll be a handoff up the middle past the 40 and near midfield. Brought down near the midfield stripe. And I believe that's going to be Monte Taylor out of Independence High School.
That was a great job up front. I'll tell you what, they peeled away. They got to the linebacker. That hole opened up, and he just hit it quick. This running back's pretty fast.
Yeah, we looked at some film of the Ohio Gladiators. Our offensive line, very solid to say the least. As Galecki waits for the snap, send a man in motion from right to left. Trips receivers to the far side now. Again, a handoff out to the right side, past the 50, 45 and outside near the 40-yard line. And again, that's going to be Monte Taylor, and I think you're going to see a lot of him today for the Gladiators.
Yeah, this is a scenario that I've watched on defense. They got to get their hands. The defensive line have got to swat these arms down. These offensive linemen, they're engaging on them, and all they're doing is just stepping and turning, and they're sealing them off. They're not pushing them off or pushing them to the sidelines. All they're doing is just squaring them up and giving that alley for the running backs to hit it.
Bobby Eccles and Harlan Page, the defensive tackles for the Cobras. On that rotation, now Galecki now sending a man in motion. He'll go into he'll hand off again. Right up the middle, past the 35, inside the 35, and down near the 32-yard line. Monte Taylor, it's been all Taylor here so far on this drive.
I'll tell you what, good-looking runner. He hits the hole good and hits the hole fast. They have got to get him, and they got to wrap him up. But the defense has got to extend them arms and get the hands off.
8:20 left here, first quarter, no score. Gladiators with the ball for the first time today. Cobras had a drive going, however, got into a 4th and 16 situation and had to punt that away. As now a little twin receivers to the near side and a wing to the right. Galecki in the shotgun. Taylor now with the ball again, going to move to the outside. Hit some resistance, but he's going to drive his legs past the 30 and down at the 29-yard line. Clock will stop to set the markers.
All they did was that was a simple trap play, and the trap almost didn't work, but then the running back was able to find the hole and kick back off of him and was able to get some positive yards.
Clock will get rolling, 7:45 left here, first quarter. Cobras again coming off the win against the Port City Spartans last week down south, as did the Gladiators, as they took on the Mountain State Outlaws. I formations, Galecki going under center. Don't get to see a whole lot of this, Coach.
I love it.
Taylor now will be the tailback. Galecki rolling out to his right, looking downfield. That's going to be caught inside the 25-yard line. And it'll be down at the 22. It'll be another, not quite 1st and 10, but again, focusing on that run now, Coach, and then you get the outside run, or the rollout by Galecki.
Yeah, Grant List was playing tight end, and all he did, and I watched him, all he did was block for that second, and then he slipped out in the flat. That was an outstanding job. They faked the dive. Quarterback rolled out and hit that. Was wide open because they got nosy on the outside.
I formation, Walker at the fullback position. He'll give it to Walker. He'll drive his legs down to the 20-yard line. Ball's loose. Cobras are pointing in their direction. We'll see if the officials agree. They're going to stop the clock. And indeed, it's going to be the Cobras' ball, so the first turnover of the day goes to the Cobras on a Doak Walker fumble. Hand it off to the fullback, and we're going to have a flag, a couple of them, and it's going to be those high-type flags, Coach.
Well, that unfortunately, I didn't get the number on that. Whoever the defensive player was grabbed the ball instead of handing it to the official. He kicked the ball to the outside over top of the Gladiators' bench, and that's going to be an unsportsman dead ball, so that'll be 15 yards.
Well, I was just trying to get the ball back to the side.
That's why you hand it to the guy in the stripes, because there was a whole lot of yellow flying.
6:34 on a stop clock here. Turnover, as we'll have the unsportsmanlike conduct call against Cleveland. And we'll see where they spot this ball now to be half the distance. And it looks like it's going to be the 12-yard line. So 1st and 10 for the Cobras at their own 12-yard line. 6:34 left here, first quarter, no score. Both teams kind of mirroring there, minus the turnover. Got something going early, but couldn't finish it.
All right, exactly right. Fullback hit that last play. I mean, he hit it like a train, but a linebacker came up and popped him, and that was all she wrote.
And during the game here, we'll try to pick up some scores for you from around the Tri-Point Football League and around this level for the most part. Thompson now sending Calhoun to his right. 3 receivers to the far side, moving right to left. Quick pass out to Boyd. Boyd past the 15, and he'll be down near the 19-yard line. He'll pick up a 7. It'll be 2nd and 3 now for the Cobras.
And they're in a hurry up, so that's a good thing. Again, quick passes, that's what you do. Just be safe here. Don't get greedy.
Thompson now again with the trip receivers to the far side. He'll pass it out quick out to the outside on the swing pass. On the slip screen. They'll bring it out past the 20 down to the 22 with 5:54 left.
That's an outstanding job, and I didn't get. Let me see if I can get the number on that. Yes, Root Beer Wise. He's playing defensive tackle, and he was the ball was on this right hash, and he ran that play down. And I'll tell you what, big boy like that, he had some wheels, and he help make that play.
We just like the name.
I like Root Beer.
Trip receivers to the far side again. Boyd be the receiver, sole receiver to the near side. It'll be a one-on-one situation. Thompson, 3-step. Fires out to his right. That's going to be complete at the 30 and down at the 33-yard line. And that's just enough for a Cobra first down.
Again, all they need to do this is the 5, 10, 15 yards. Don't get greedy. Just keep chipping away. Once they force them corners and them safeties, then go. But you're fine the way they're playing this. Now maybe do a little bit of zone read on first down. Good job by them. Good job by the Cobras. They're doing a great job. Slap's doing a great job reading stuff.
They'll come out in the same formation. 3 receivers to the far side. Antonio Boyd will be one-on-one. Thompson with Calhoun to his left. Some movement up front. We'll see who this one's going to be against. It's going to be a false start against the Cobras. It'll make it 1st and 15.
Again, receivers jumping. No reason for it. None whatsoever. They have got to keep their eye on the football. Don't listen to the quarterback because they're going to – all they did was he hard counted them trying to get the defense to jump, and instead the receiver jumped. So can't keep having that.
Everybody trying to get that extra quick step. As again, they'll go back into the same formation. Eddie Edwards now in the game. He'll be the slot receiver to the right side. Be Wise to the inside. Thompson in an empty backfield. Now Calhoun and Boyd will be the receivers to the near side, moving right to left. Thompson stepping up under the pocket under pressure, going to elude one tackle, and he's going to go down at the 25-yard line. That'll be a loss of another 4, so it's going to be 2nd and 19 for Cleveland.
Yep, not good. They had some people open. The running back, they had T.J. Johnson running a post, and if he would have saw him and hit him, that would have been a sure touchdown because he had him in the post.
And again, we are trying to see what we can do about this video on Facebook. I know a lot of folks are trying to tune in there. As Thompson now, he'll remain in the shotgun. He'll bring Calhoun to his left this time. 3 receivers to the far side. Thompson back to pass, stepping up, fires out to his right, long ball, has a receiver, and it's going to be dropped right around the 35-yard line. Matt Wise had a shot at it, but not bad defense by the Gladiators. Couldn't get a number on it because he's got his jersey up underneath. So,
yeah, he did a good job. I'll tell you what, the receiver had him beat by 3 yards. Again, the only issue, too, was even if he would have hit him, it looked like he would have been out of bounds. He's got to try to keep it a little bit more in bounds. He's throwing it too far outside.
Running out of real estate.
But we talked about this. The offense has got to start clicking. They do well, and then they shoot themselves in the foot.
3rd down now. Baker will be the receiver to the near side. It'll be Wise, Edwards, and Thompson to the right. Low snap. Slap moving out to his left side. He'll fire across the middle, and it's going to hit the dirt, and it looks like that's going to be incomplete. It's going to hit the turf, and indeed, that pass intended. I believe that was going to be for Eddie Edwards.
if he catches it on the run, it's a first down because he did make the sticks. Good job by the receiver because he was there, but unfortunately he one-hopped it.
Ben Lyons in to punt for the Cobras. The Lions with a 31-yard field goal last week against the Port City Spartans. And that really, Coach, on that kick, sealed the game in the fourth quarter. Just put it out of the reach for the Spartans. It tells you a lot about having a dependable kicker.
Truly, if you got somebody who's consistent can kick, they can really, really help you.
2:38 left here, first quarter. No score, back and forth affair here so far in this first frame. Antoine Miller back to return for the Gladiators. A little bit of a low snap, but Lions is going to get this one away. And it's going to be a rotating punt. It's going to be fielded at the 41-yard line on the Ohio Gladiators side. They'll bring it to the Gladiators sideline near midfield and be brought down by Emmett Calhoun with a textbook tackle.
Looked like a field goal the way the ball was punted.
It did. It's
end over end there for a while.
So with 2:23 left here, first quarter, the Ohio Gladiators will get their second crack on offense. Their first drive ended on a fumble by Doak Walker. So first and 10 for the Gladiators at their own 46-yard line. 2:23 left here, first quarter here at Duke Stadium on the campus of Marlington High School.
Now, defense has got to step it up.
Twin receivers to the far side. Darwin Filey to the outside. Twin receivers to the near side as well. Skalecki in a shotgun. He'll fire quickly outside, and it'll be caught just past the 50 down to the 48-yard line into Cobra territory.
Again, they gave him a little bit, and then they ran that slant and was able to get him.
And that was going to be Filey on the reception out of Mount Union, 5'7", 175. 2:01 left here, first quarter. Gladiators with their second drive of the day. Receivers 2x2 for the Gladiators now. Taylor be to the left of Skalecki. He'll give it to Taylor. Taylor trying to work his way forward. Made initial contact. Going to be brought down in the backfield. That'll be a loss for the Ohio Gladiators. And I believe that was going to be Chris Frazier coming up and making the nice, again, textbook tackle.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. He went to hit the hole, and there was a lot of people grabbing for jerseys, and the running back was able to get out of there, and then Cobras were there to make a good, solid tackle.
Chris Frazier, the defensive back for the Cleveland Cobras. 1:16 as this clock winds down here in the first quarter. Finally, the receiver to the far side. Devontae Neal Asher will be the outside receiver to the near side. Taylor to the left of Skalecki. Skalecki firing over the middle. That one thrown into the middle. Finally, a flag's coming in. Looks like there's going to be a holding. Don't think it's going to be pass interference, Coach, but I think that was going to be holding prior to the pass.
I'm thinking because it looked like he's calling it pass interference.
Okay, well, to us it looked like that came before the pass, as there were nothing but black jerseys right around the 35-yard line, but nonetheless, it's going to be a first down for the Gladiators.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jim. The hold came way before the pass, so that should have just been holding.
So first and 10 now for the Gladiators at the Cobra 38-yard line. 54 seconds left here in this first quarter. No score. I think everybody kind of anticipated this defensive battle so far. That's exactly what it has been. Twin receivers each side. We'll get it, Coach. Skalecki now with a handoff to Taylor. Taylor looking to work off the left side. He's going to be wrapped up by the big man in the backfield, and I believe that was going to be Bobby Eccles. Eccles, Page, and Andy Code, among others that have worked that inside of that line for the Cobras very well.
That's a good job. Absolutely. Good job on that.
30 seconds left here in this first quarter. Again, we'll take a quick break. Get set for second quarter action here at Duke Stadium. Again, a beautiful facility here. Not the first time Coach and I have been here, but the Gladiators now again 2-2. Skalecki back to pass. He's going to fire, but it's going to be knocked down. Trying to get a number on that. I believe that was going to be Bobby Eccles again. Oh, correction. That was going to be Harlan Page.
Yeah.
And I think Harlan is wearing 99 now instead of 94. Harlan is really giving us a hard time this year, Coach.
48.
Yeah, it's week one. It's almost like he doesn't want us to know he's there.
Yeah, I guess.
Now, Harlan Page, big, tall, and I'll tell you, he's disciplined as we come to the end of this first quarter. If he can't get in there, he gets those paws up.
Yeah, but that's what you're taught. Absolutely. If you can't get in there and you're rushing, at least get up off the ground and bring them hands up, cross them right at the wrist, and knock it down.
End of the first quarter here. We're going to step aside for a quick timeout. You're listening to Cleveland Cobras football here on Western Reserve Radio and the iMedia1 Network. Golf in the Mahoning Valley starts at Mill Creek Golf Course. Come out to the 36 beautiful hole design course by Donald Ross, and golf lessons are available by calling the team shop at 330-740-7112. Don't forget about family fun nights on Friday and Saturday evenings, a family of 4 with cart for only $25. Or visit the Wick Recreation Area and the lighted Par 3 course. Book your tee time today at 330-740-7112 or online at millcreekmetroparks.org.
Youngstown, Warren, and Salem's local and national sports talk can be found on TuneIn and the Live 365 app at Western Reserve Radio, WRDB, The Scourge.
Second quarter coming up here at Duke Stadium. Well, they consider it a Lions, Coach, but I don't think we're actually in the city. As Gladiators now will have it down. It'll be 3rd and 8. A whole bunch of movement up here.
That's got to be
and the receiver moved to the far side, and indeed it will be an illegal motion. Or, excuse me, a false start on the Gladiators.
Must be something on that side that everything seems to be happening on the far side with these receivers.
Maybe it's got to be the sun in your eyes. I don't know.
Watch the ball. Good Lord.
As the sun does peek out from behind the clouds now, it'll be 3rd and 12 for the Gladiators. Skalecki in his shotgun. Receivers 2-2. Skalecki now firing downfield. Looking for a receiver. Some contact down there. No flag. And it looks like there was a little bit of hand fighting going on there.
Well, that's why it wasn't called, because the receiver was running a post and the defender was right on his hip. And the ball went to the outside, almost like a corner route. I don't know why he was throwing it there. And the defender, all he did was just kind of box him out. Didn't give him the opportunity to run through him. So that was completely illegal. It was an outstanding job by the corner.
So 4th down now for the Gladiators. They're going to go with it. Skalecki in the shotgun. You have Taylor to his left. Skalecki not beyond a quick kick every now and then. And indeed, that's what it'll be. It'll be a high kick. They'll send it down to the 15-yard line. It'll roll out near the 10, and the Cobras will start deep in their own territory again.
That was a good kick. 11-yard line. Bury him back. Offensively now, no mistakes. And this seems to be the big issue. Mistakes. It's been their scenario all year with the offense, so they have got to just put it together.
1st and 10, they'll mark the ball at the 11-yard line for Cleveland. This will be their 3rd possession coming up. Penalties have been tough on them so far.
Yeah, you can't keep making mistakes, and that's the big thing. Football, these 5-yard penalties will kill you.
Yeah, I know a coach used to let us know that once in a while.
Occasionally. Softly.
Very, Pistol formation now, Thompson. In his shotgun. Hand it off this time, be out to the left. And it'll be stopped at the line of scrimmage. And that was going to be T.J. Johnson on the carry off the right side, but a host of white jerseys there to stop him.
Yeah, Mr. Walker came flying through there as the linebacker. I'll tell you what, he does a nice job, and he read it. Again, what I see is timing's off a little bit. These running backs got to learn, hit the hole. You got to hit it running. They're waiting for the ball, and then they're hesitating. And by then, linebackers are reacting. They've got to hit the hole quicker.
I'll actually give him a credit of a half a yard on this, so second down for the Cobras. Thompson in the shotgun, pistol formation. He'll pull it on the option, try to get upfield, but he'll be brought down. May have picked up a yard on the play, but couldn't get past Nate Pritchett out of Ravenna High School.
Yeah, he did an outstanding job. He came across and sat square to the line of scrimmage, and there was just no going. I'll tell you what, these guys up front for the Gladiators do an outstanding job.
These two teams, in a lot of aspects, mirror each other in terms of types of players, offensive or on both defensive lines and even in the secondary.
Yeah, it's just Cleveland, they're getting out of their game trying to run, and because they're backed up, and I get that, but the problem lies is they're just sending everybody up front. They got 5 coming now.
3rd and 8 now. T.J. Johnson will be the running back, 2 receivers to each side. Thompson waiting for the snap. He'll step back. Under pressure. Going to fire downfield. Got a receiver open and going to overthrow him just by a yard or so. And wow, almost connected with Eddie Edwards on the long ball.
Well, I want to tell you something. He grabbed him when that ball was almost there. If anything, that should have been a penalty. I'm sorry. At the last minute, the defender grabbed him by the waist. That should have been a flag. That was just a bad no call there.
And I'm sure the Cobras would agree with you on that. Gladiators would be appreciative of the officials.
Yeah, they're having a little talk in here. It's just not good.
Adam Rogerson coming out and expressing his love for the officials, as a lot of head coaches do.
Well, you know what? That was so obvious. And the back judge is going, yeah, I don't know. I didn't see anything. Come on, man.
Pass the buck. I may have done that once or twice. Not my call there, buddy.
Yeah, no, that's his call. He's playing center field. That's got to be his call. I mean, he just missed it.
12:25 left here in the second quarter. Ben Lyons on the punt for the Cobras. No score here, as we'll have a pause. Everybody went to get set and then thought better of it. Steve Anthony, the long snapper. It'll be a good snap. Lyons. Oh. Kick, this one's going to go off his toe, but it's going to take a Cobra roll to midfield. He picked up, brought past the 40 and down at the 35-yard line. And that was going to be Antoine Miller on the return, and just an awkward kick. Tried that rugby-style kick, and it went right off his toe.
Yeah, but he had time. Just set your feet. See, those are the problems I have with the rugby kick. I never cared for it. You're not going to run the ball from where you were at, so just take the ball, snap, and kick it. He had plenty of time. Instead, when he went to the right, he rushed, then hesitated, and it came off his foot wrong.
Maybe a case of just trying too much, trying too hard.
Yeah, exactly, and that's exactly what it is. Cleveland has got to, their offense, they have got to spruce it up a little bit here. I mean, again, their defense has stepped up and they've stopped the Gladiators, but you can't keep doing this time after time after time.
Taylor will be the running back to the left of Skalecki. Twin receivers to each side for the Gladiators. Lisk will be the receiver to the outside. He'll hand it off. Nowhere to go. Brought down in the backfield. Andy Code making the initial contact, and that'll cost him a couple yards.
Yeah, Code, he just bull rushed his guy, came down low, came up, got his hands free, read it, and he could almost taken the handoff. So that was an outstanding job by Andy. But that's what they have to do. They've got to fight that front people over there, and they got to get in and disrupt, and he did a great job of that.
11:17 as the clock continues to run here. Skalecki bringing in the play from the sideline from head coach Chris Ballantyne. A lot of names around have been around a long time. Played against Ballantyne. Skalecki, we talked on her, and literally would have 6 or 7 helmets in his trunk of different colors just in case an emergency football game broke out. Skalecki now rolling out to his right. Quick pass out to the flat. It'll be caught by Tony Perrine. And he'll get down to right around the 31 or 32-yard line. We'll call it the 31 and bring up third down for the Gladiators.
Yep, and you know what? Don't play off on this. Okay, you know where the first down is. I think they need to play up tough, and they need to get these guys up front to get to that quarterback. That's the best way to do this right now. If you're too far off, all they're going to do is just run you off and then sit at that first down marker. So play up tough a little bit, get in their face, and square up, and don't let them get on the outside or inside of you.
Just a little over 10 minutes left here in the half. Devontae Neal Asher will be the receiver to the far side. Skalecki in the shotgun, Taylor to his left. Now have a tight end to the left side. Skalecki, three-step drop, under pressure, he's going to be brought down. Ball's going to come loose, but I think he was down, and there's going to be a roughing the quarterback call coming up against Harlan Page.
Oh, that's a bad call.
And I'll tell you right now,
well,
Danny's not a very heavy guy, but the pickup and slam probably is what drew their attention.
But he fell down back with him and then threw him over. It's not like he landed on him. I think they need to pick that flag up. That's a horrible call.
And it looks like they're going to call that personal foul against the Cobras. And got to agree, Coach, I don't know about that one, but you know it brings back images of Terry Bradshaw being dumped on his head.
But that's not what happened here. I mean, he got him, and as he was going down, he spun him. I'm against that. That was a good football play. And because what are you supposed to do? Just sit down with him? That's horrible. I don't agree with it.
It'll be 15 yards, but it won't be enough for a first down. It'll be placed at the 28-yard line. They got to get to the 25 for a first down.
But that's not right. It's not. Is it a first down or no?
Flag on the play, and then I wonder if there's going to be a substitution issue. As Doak Walker was talking to Skalecki, went right back to the offensive line, and it's going to be a dead ball substitution against the Gladiators. I'll knock them back 5. Well, I was going to say that was an automatic first down, so I do apologize on that. It's going to make 1st and 15 for the Ohio Gladiators, but Coach, I got to agree with you. I don't know. A great play by Harlan Page.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. You're taking away the game. Now what?
New quarterback in there. Skalecki will come out, and it looks like the Ohio Gladiators will take a timeout. So we will step aside for a quick break as well. You're listening to Cleveland Cobras football here on Western Reserve Radio and the iMedia1 network. Golf in the Mahoning Valley starts at Mill Creek Golf Course. Come out to the 36 beautiful hole design course by Donald Ross, and golf lessons are available by calling the team shop at 330-740-7112. Don't forget about family fun nights on Friday and Saturday evenings, a family of 4 with cart for only $25. Or visit the Wick Recreation Area and the lighted Par 3 course. Book your tee time today at 330-740-7112 or online at millcreekmetroparks.org.
Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Tyree Knight, number 2 of the Cleveland Cobras, and you're listening to the Tri-Point Football League on Western Reserve Radio and the iMedia1 network. Go Cobras!
9:34 left here in the first half. Ohio Gladiators taking a timeout as we wait for them to set the sticks here. I don't know. They're still showing 1st and 10. The flag came out, but did they call a timeout before? But I think that was an issue of having 12 players in the formation, and it looks like it's going to be 1st and 10. As Skalecki back in a quarterback now. Taylor to his left. Twin receivers to the near side. Skalecki now a hand off to Taylor. Taylor going to be hit. He's still going to drive his feet and brought down by a host of Gladiators, and it's going to be Andy Code that's going to finish him off, and good pressure coming in from that defensive line of Cleveland.
Well, I just want to say it looks like that defensive line is a little upset because of what went on, and I don't blame them. It's now they're just going to pin their ears back, make sure they stay in their lanes, don't give any lanes for any draw or anything. But I'll tell you what, what do we got now? I think it's going to be a penalty on the sidelines. I think Coach
maybe a sideline warning.
Rogerson was doing a little John. Yep.
So Andy Code and Bobby Eccles, the defensive tackles now for Cleveland, and they are going to assess a penalty.
Sidelines. And I think that's because, and what it was Coach was out on the field.
Well, usually the first one's a warning. So again, we're getting half-hearted signals. I don't know if we're not up here. Or...
Yeah, but it looked like Coach was almost to the numbers where they were lining up.
Who does that, Coach?
Not me.
Skalecki back to pass, out to his left, going to be complete at the 25, and knocked out of bounds at the 27-yard line. Craig Williams on the defense for the Cobras.
I never passed the hash mark.
You said that with a straight face almost.
Numbers, yes. Hash marks, no.
8:41 left here, second quarter. No score. As the 3-0 Ohio Gladiators and the 2-1 Cleveland Cobras get together here in week 4 of the Tri-Point Football League. Skalecki now with 2 receivers to each side. Taylor to his right. Skalecki back to pass. Quick pass out to his left. That's going to be complete at the 12 and knocked out at the 9-yard line. Grant Lisk on the reception. He's going to be knocked out of bounds by Craig Williams.
They're just giving him, and that's exactly what's happening. Cobra's defenders are off, 5, 6, 7 yards, and he's just, receivers is just dumping about 3 yards sitting down. He's hitting them, and then because of they're playing so far off, by the time he catches the ball, he's getting another couple yards.
7:56. Here it'll be first and goal for the Gladiators at the Cobra 9-yard line. Skalecki back to pass. Again, looking for the corner of the end zone. It's going to be caught. And not sure if he made it into the end zone. No call yet. They're going to say just short of the goal line. And again, that's going to be Grant Lisk on the reception. 6 foot, 175 pounds out of Sebring High School.
Yeah, how about that? Sebring.
Former Trojan.
There you go. There you go.
And also the alma mater for David George Jr.
Oh, okay. That's all right.
So second and goal. We'll call it inside the 1-yard line. 7:26 left here in this half. First time today that either team has really threatened to score as they'll come out in the I formation. Walker at the fullback. It'll be Antoine Miller, the tailback. Skalecki under center. And they're going to be wrapped up in the backfield. Miller had nowhere to go.
Outstanding job by that front defense. I'll tell you what, they pinned their ears back, and they came after them. Linebackers hesitated for a second, and then they came. The only thing you got to watch now is watch play action, because this is what they're going to see. They're going to see that they came, and it's going to give that center of that field. If that safety ain't sitting there, they could run a little crossing pattern, and they're in trouble. So we got to make sure that we do what we need to do now.
I believe that was Mike Marshall and Robert Littlejohn leading the charge on that. Coach bringing up a great point. Play action, usually something out of this. DeMonte Neal Asher, the receiver, to the far side now. Shotgun handoff inside to Taylor. Taylor working his way towards the end zone, going to be brought down just short at the 1-yard line. And that's going to bring up 4th down with 6:10 left here in this half. Cobras looking for a goal line stand. Andy Code in on, among others. And
Buffalo backfield, getting a stacked eye, and push.
Well, the officials now lining up for a field goal. Shropshire to kick. Believe so anyway.
Well, let's watch.
Kick is up.
Good.
And it is good. So at 5:27 left here in the second quarter, the Ohio Gladiators get on the board first with a field goal. They take a 3-0 lead. We're going to step aside for a quick timeout. You're listening to Cleveland Cobras football here on Western Reserve Radio and the iMedia1 network.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday 10 to 4 and Saturday 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-75 855-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
Golf in the Mahoning Valley starts at Mill Creek Golf Course. Come out to the 36 beautiful hole design course by Donald Ross, and golf lessons are available by calling the team shop at 330-740-7112. Don't forget about family fun nights on Friday and Saturday evenings, a family of 4 with cart for only $25. Or visit the Wick Recreation Area and the lighted Par 3 course. Book your tee time today at 330-740-7112 or online at millcreekmetroparks.org. .5:27 left here in this half. The Gladiators get on the board with an 18-yard field goal by Shropshire. They take a 3-0 lead in a game that we anticipated was going to be a defensive battle. Certainly it has been that, as it'll be looking for the returners on this. I believe that's going to be Daryl Golson and Eddie Edwards. Shropshire now with the kick. And it'll be picked up by Golson. Golson will be out to the 20, 25, 30, and brought down near the 34-yard line. A little better starting position for the Cobras this time.
Now, do what they did in the first quarter. What they've got to do is take what they give you. Take the slants, take the little outs, take the sit-downs or the curls. That's what they have to do. That's what the Gladiators are giving them. So, therefore, that's what they need to do. Unfortunately, he had to run the ball in the situation backed up to the goal line. But I think they would have been fine if they would have mixed a little bit of pass in there. But right now they got out of that with just 3 points. So we'll see what happens. A long drive right now would really be going in at the half by getting 7 points, and that would be amazing.
It'll be Johnson, the tailback. Now Martucci to the right of Thompson. He'll give it to Martucci. Martucci will follow his offensive line, get to the outside, and fight his way past the 40 and down to the 42-yard line. A good run by Dominic Martucci.
Yeah, I tell you what, he was a little bowling ball there. He put his shoulders down, and he was plowing over people. That's a good run.
Big shout out to Dave Ferris. Again, keeping an eye on everything, making sure you're receiving the best we can. Facebook was a little glitchy earlier, so we apologize for that. But, Coach, we do radio, buddy. This is what we do. We're throwing in a little video, trying to give you the...
It's all right.
Maybe we'll turn the video inside the box here, just to see our handsome faces.
Oh, boy. Yeah. They're going to say that's what's speaking.
I always like when they did that with Jim Donovan.
Yeah,
and then he would beat up Doug Deacon.
Yeah, he was always punching him, especially on long runs and stuff.
So a referee threw a flag, and he's going to say, never mind. We'll wave that one off.
No.
It'll be second. Now he's going to – okay, he waved it off, and, now we're – okay, a little confused. Dead ball. We're going to call, I guess, an illegal substitution against some that – I don't know. Our referee may have just come from a wedding. I'm not sure. We've all had those moments. We pointed the wrong way.
Yeah, that's all right.
Waved off the flag and then assessed the penalty.
It goes this way. Oh, wait a minute.
I've been there, Coach. I can't say.
Yeah, well, I bet you have.
4:20 left here, second quarter. Thompson in a pistol formation now. Johnson and Martucci in the backfield with them, one receiver to each side. 2nd and 8. Thompson pulling it this time, trying to work his way down to the 40-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd and 5 for the Gladiators after some confusing officiating.
Yeah, I guess they had one too many in the huddle is the only thing I could think of. So now here we go. Now we got 3rd and about 5 yards. Now take a good look at what you got on the outside. Again, they're going to load the inside. Now you've run that fullback and you've run Reed a little bit. Now get them leaning a little bit, see where they line up, and try to get that first down.
Pistol formation again. Antonio Boyd be a receiver to the far side. D'Angelo Thompson to the near side. Martucci to the right of Slap. Slap Thompson waiting for the snap. He'll read it. Quick pass over the middle. That's going to be caught at midfield. It's going to be a first down for the Cobras, and that's going to be the big man, Abe Taylor. And Coach, you got to love a big tight end like that.
All it was that's what we call tight end dump. That's all it is. He's fake the handoff. Quarterback takes a step. In the meantime, when they fake the handoff, the tight end blocks down. One Mississippi releases behind them backers because they're coming. And it's exactly what he did. Hit him on the dead run. That's a great player at that point.
Boyd and Thompson will be the receivers. Taylor will be the tight end to the right. He'll step back on a wing. He's going to mark himself off. Pistol formation. Thompson waiting for the snap. Reads it off of Martucci. He'll take it himself past the 50, down to the 45. Work his way to the 40, and brought down near a first down. And indeed, they will say it is a Cobra first down with 2:34 left here on the clock.
Okay, don't panic. Just get down there. Do what you got to do. You first of all try to get as chunks as you can. You cannot make a mistake here, and no losses. Got to get positive yards.
Morris Dillard coming off the sideline for the Cobras for the offensive line. Boyd, the receiver to the far side. Thompson, the receiver to the near side. He'll go back into the pistol formation. This time Martucci will be to the left of Thompson. TJ Johnson will be the tailback. Thompson with the read. He'll pull it himself. Pitch it out to the outside to Johnson. Johnson past the 30, 35, and down to the 20-yard line. A well-executed option. A lot going on there for the defense to read. And it was, again, a play they've been trying over several weeks, but well-executed this time.
Yeah, and it was great because they bit on the dive, the linebackers. Then when he pulled it, went down the line. The end was right there. And, of course, that's what the end does. If he stays home, he comes down and collapses on a quarterback. The issue it's either an outside linebacker, depending on how they position, or the corner's got to come up and he's got to take the pitch man, and there was nobody there, and he had blocking down the field. So outstanding job on the play, and you're keeping them off balance. Now, again, no mistakes. Get it in there. Minute 47, you got plenty of time on a first down. Don't panic.
Pistol formation again. Martucci will remain to the right of Thompson. He'll read again. This time we'll give it to Martucci. Martucci working his way forward. He'll get down near the 11-yard line, be just short of another Cobra first down. And, Coach, maybe the best drive we've seen from the Cobras this year.
Yeah, that's a great job. I mean, I like the fullback stuff. We're in the eye, or we're in the split backs and sidecar, and that's what they do. But the offensive line got to be careful. I was seeing a little bit of business over there. Officials are going to watch. Do not blow because somebody's going to get you all shook up. Watch your P's and Q's. Do not cause a penalty here.
Martucci and Johnson will remain the running backs with Thompson. High snap picked up by Johnson. Johnson getting to the outside, actually, past the 10. Cut himself inside for a first down and down to the 6-yard line. And it'll be first and goal for the Gladiators, Coach. Another situation of maybe sometimes better lucky than good.
Well, lucky, I'll tell you what, the good Lord had his hands around that ball because that thing, it actually looked like a Jim Craven snap there for a second, went a little high, bounced off the hands, right into his lap, and he did a great job. He didn't panic, and he was able to hit to the outside and get that first down.
Well, that was funny until you said that. So.
Truth hurts sometimes, Jim. What are you going to do?
Just under a minute left here in this first half. And that went off his hands, though. So, I'll take that as a compliment. He just didn't handle it.
He didn't handle it.
Okay.
It was a hard snap. McCraven, snap back, and he just bounced off his hands and went the right way. That could have really shot him in the foot. But now they got the Gladiators on their heels. Okay, now keep hitting. It seems like they're attacking that left side off tackle or on that end. Well, guess what? Mix it up a little bit. And what it is the way their defense is the offense to the right, their power's to the right. So what's happening is the defense is shifting to it, which should be their left. So that's how they're doing that. That's why they're attacking the weak side, which is smart. That's stuff that the coaches they'll attack the strong side and then they bounce it to the weak side, and that's exactly what they got to do. If they're not staying balanced because of the strength, I'm okay with that, but they got to make a shift here.
First and goal from the 6-yard line for the Cleveland Cobras. I'm going to get it right, Coach. Wow. Getting excited over here. 50 seconds as the clock begins to run. Pistol formation. Again, Martucci to the right of Thompson. TJ Johnson, the tailback. One receiver to each side. Pass out to the flats. It's going to be Johnson at the 5-4 and upended at the 3-yard line. They may have given him the 2. And it'll be second and goal for the Cobras. And, T.J. Johnson going over a little bit awkwardly as he was cut at the legs.
Anthony Spooney absolutely come there and decleated him from down below. And he didn't come up there real well. He's holding his neck a little bit. They need to look at this young man and make sure he's okay. But I'll tell you what, that was a mean hit by both of them.
Ball came out. Johnson had enough faculty to cover that up just in case. 28 seconds left here. We're going to keep this right here as we have another timeout for the Ohio Gladiators. But 3-0 is your score. The Gladiators with the lead on an 18-yard field goal.
This is when you this is what I would do. I mean, you get in there. Of course, you got, second down. I might wait a play, but this is when you fake that. You get in the eye, you fake the dive, and what you could do, one or two things, depending on where that safety lines up. Either you run that tight end dump or you run a tight end out and squeal them out to the outside. Clear the corner, and now they're stacked to the right side. Left side weak, wide open.
Pistol formation. Now Boyd with the receiver to the far side. One-on-one. He'll be on the right hash. Thompson taking himself, working his way upfield. And did he cross the line? Touchdown, Cobras. 15 seconds left in the half. They take the lead by a score of 6-3.
That's a good job by the line. All they did was zone it. And it was the old school zone is how I say it. It was just big on big. They got to their outside. They got their hips turned and opened up that hole, and he was able to sneak it right in. That's a good job.
15 seconds left in the half. Cobras take the lead. Again, it continues to be a defensive battle, but I think that is the best drive of the season for the Cleveland Cobras.
Yeah, they and you're right, it is, Jim. They mixed it up real good. They kept them off balance, and that was an outstanding job by the Cobras. They went right down the field, and that's what the offense has to do. And we have a
stoppage in play as Ben Lyons comes on for the conversion. And it's now 7 seconds on the clock. They may want to reset that to 15. I'm not sure. As the umpire and the referee will talk this over. That'll be...
Yeah.
And indeed, it will be the referee asking for 15 seconds to be put up on the clock.
See, you would know that, Jim. I don't know why you would know that. You would notice that.
Well, it went from 15 to 7. I mean, I'm a Woodrow Wilson graduate, but, it's... There was no play going on.
Well, and you have them stripes, so, you wore them at one time.
Steve Anthony on the snap. Lions for the field goal, for the extra point. Snap is back. Kick is up, and it is good. So with 13 seconds left, and we don't know why the 2 seconds came off on the extra point, but nonetheless, Cobras take a 7-3 lead over the Ohio Gladiators. And again, possibly the best drive of the season for the Cobras. And going into halftime, Coach, that's got to give you a lot of confidence.
Well, absolutely. They're adjusting the clock again. That's okay. That happens sometimes. You got a little quick on the finger. Yep. Now we got the 13 back to 15 seconds. So
the officials catching that. So.
Yeah. No, this is Cleveland needed this, and that's what they had to do because they needed to get that offense going, especially after the penalty. And it was I hate to say it, but it was a gimme. And I don't like those as a coach. You kind of lose your mind on that. But anyway.
Can't imagine.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, so that's what they need. That gives them some momentum. But now, let's be smart here. Let's pin them back. Get him back there. Let's tackle him and leave no time for this young man. And we'll get it done here and get in the half.
Antoine Miller, senior back to return out of Bluffton University, 5'8", 160. Ben Lyons to kick off. See if they keep this one on the ground, and it's going to be a high kick. It's going to be fielded at making the 13-yard line. They'll bring it out to the 20, 25, 30, and be brought down at the 33-yard line. And that'll leave us with 7 seconds left in the half. Cleveland, I assume, will just play center field here to make sure there's no Hail Mary shot on this.
I mean, that's going to be a heck of a toss if they do that. you're probably looking at,
Danny Skalecki, a great quarterback. I don't know if he's got it in him,
75 yards. I don't know if he can throw it 75 yards with somebody coming at him.
Well, Danny also played some wide receiver, so he understands more than most. The outside there and what he expects.
No, they're just going to, I believe they're just going to save snap maybe. Yeah.
And indeed, that might be the smart move here. Is they will get the ball in the second half. They deferred on the coin toss in pregame. And
he didn't hit his knee. They didn't blow the whistle.
And the official almost throwing his shoulder out, trying to get that clock to run. And indeed, that will bring us to the end of the first half. Here at Duke Stadium at Marlington High School, Cleveland Cobras will go into halftime leading by a score of 7-3. And this was the battle that they anticipated. Pretty much everything we thought was going to happen has happened.
Yeah, and it's been a good football game. Offensively, a little slow again by Cleveland, but they got it together. Nice long drive before the half, and I think they needed that for a confidence builder. Not only that, they needed that, and somebody picked something up, and Coach is doing a great job calling the plays because they found something, and they've done a great job by getting the 7 points up.
Thompson doing a great job on the reads as well, securing the ball, and he's done a great job running it here. And it's not something we saw him do a lot, but this year he's dropped a little bit of weight, got himself in good shape. That really has added to the offense, and maybe now's the time that we start to see that better timing and that continuity coming.
Well, and we talked about stuff like misdirections and stuff. Not that the option plays misdirection, but if you don't have your keys read and you don't do it right, you really can mess up, and that's exactly what happened with the option play. They were flat out not ready for that.
We hit a halftime here with the Cobras leading by a score of 7-3. The Ohio Gladiators, they get on the board first at 5:27 of the second quarter on an 18-yard field goal by Shropshire. And then with just 15 seconds left here in this first half, Dave Slap Thompson goes into the end zone from 3 yards. And the Cobras will go in at halftime leading by a score of 7-3. We're going to step aside for a timeout. You are listening to Cleveland Cobras football here on Western Reserve Radio and the iMedia1 network.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all got to see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan.
Separated.
We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
Idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was fine.
the most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Message. Some parents plan ahead. Some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Located in Applewood Estates in Boardman Township, the Applewood Swim and Tennis Club offers a pleasant family environment. Choose a membership that meets your needs and enjoy a relaxing venue that includes not only swimming for the family, but also youth activities such as competitive swimming, tennis, and more. Enjoy the friendly atmosphere all summer long with the staff and members of the Applewood Swim and Tennis Club. For more information, go to applewoodSwimandTennis.com or call 330-953-2833.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. Look at this little face. How could you not love him?
Hamilton the Pug, Instagram star and shelter pet. Amazing adoption stories start in shelters. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, and excuse me. Sit up straight, hold doors open, don't speak with your mouth full, keep your elbows off the table. Share your things, play nice, and generally treat others the way you'd like to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
And stop picking your nose.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit tunein2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
I'm a retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing. After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak. My name is Julius Gaines, creative writer, poet, photographer.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
Professional, fast, highly knowledgeable, easy to work with. These are real reviews by customers of Sandrock Concrete. For all your concrete block, brick, stone, stonework, and excavating needs, call Jerry Sandrock. For your free estimate at 330-506-0013. Sandrock Concrete is fully insured and ready to make your ideas a reality. Sandrock Concrete is a proud supporter and sponsor of Mahoning Valley High School football on Western Reserve Radio.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit tunein2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable. But how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Located in Applewood Estates in Boardman Township, the Applewood Swim and Tennis Club offers a pleasant family environment. Choose a membership that meets your needs and enjoy a relaxing venue that includes not only swimming for the family, but also youth activities such as competitive swimming, tennis, and more. Enjoy the friendly atmosphere all summer long with the staff and members of the Applewood Swim and Tennis Club. For more information, go to applewoodswimandtennis.com or call 330-953-2833.
Mill Creek Golf Course is now open. Experience the Donald Ross Championship design of both courses, where you can book a tee time online at millcreekmetroparks.org. Mill Creek features a newly remodeled golf shop, new cart paths, and is a Callaway certified club fitting facility with demo days. The PGA professional staff is now accepting golf outings and leads. For more information, call 330-740-7112 or stop by and see what all Mill Creek Golf Course has to offer you.
So, are you enjoying our station? Well, now you can take us along on your mobile device wherever you go.
Wow!
The free Live 365 app is available for both Apple and Android devices.
That sounds like fun. I'll give it a try.
Just go to the Apple app or Google Play Store and download it today.
You're listening to WRDB, Western Reserve Digital Broadcasting, Youngstown, Warren, Salem, and around the world.
Back here at Duke Stadium on the campus of Marlington High School, just outside of Alliance, Ohio. Cleveland Cobras football, the Cobras making the trip down here to take on the Ohio Gladiators. Gladiators coming in at 3-0. But right now, the Cleveland Cobras, they lead by a score of 7-3. Scoring all coming in the second quarter as Shropshire will get an 18-yard field goal at 5:27 of the second frame to put the Gladiators up by a score of 3-0. And with 15 seconds left in the half, it will be Slap Thompson on a 3-yard touchdown run that would give the Cobras a 6-3 lead. Ben Lyons would come on for the extra point to make it 7-3 with 15 seconds left. I want to remind you, coming up next week is the bye week for the Tri-Point Football League, 4th of July weekend. So everybody will take off, catch some rest, and we'll be back here the following week here on Western Reserve Radio. And, of course, we're already talking about high school football coming up here. This is the first official week of summer. However, the quickest 10 weeks on the calendar coming up here not too far away. They'll kick off August 18th in Ohio. I believe August 17th. There'll be some Thursday night games, but full gamut of games on August 18th. And, of course, Western Reserve Radio announcing that we will continue our partnership with Cumulus. We will simulcast a game of the week on Sports Radio 1240 WBBW, and we will be bringing you Springfield Tiger football again on Western Reserve Radio 2 and WRQX AM 600. There are efforts to bring a third game in here on City View Sportscast. We will keep you updated on that. So Western Reserve Radio looking to bring you some of the best high school coverage coming up in the Valley. And Coach, it seems like it goes so fast.
Yeah.
And here we are in June already talking about high school football coming.
Yeah, and I have to do a little mention. Last year I went to a YSU game and saw Mr. Brungard on the sidelines, and I kind of mouthed to him, "You going to get a shot?" And he said, "Oh, yeah." Well, I want to tell you something. I guess it's spring game. He really impressed the coaching staff. So I'll tell you what, it's going to be nice. I would like to see him pursue and get some playing time at Youngstown State University, where his dad played and I believe was a national champion with them. And I'll tell you what, that is, I like the idea that you're keeping our people here in Youngstown, bring the tradition back, just like the Trestle days, use our people and bring a championship home.
And I was going to say, that was a real appeal in the early to mid-'90s was Jim Trestle being at Youngstown State University and a lot of local players there on the national stage. And, you got 20,000 people to a game, and we really cling to, I hate to say our own, but, our Valley natives are really what attracted players to those games.
Yeah, and I was a season ticket holder then, and YSU was really playing well, and I liked Trestle, and I had the opportunity to meet with him and his staff when I was a special teams coach at Cheney. But one of the best things was later on going down to Marshall, watching Chris Samrone and Dave Del Baccio and Matt Gilchrist win a championship against Marshall and being able to go down on the field afterwards And that is a tribute to what Tressel did and use a lot of the people from our area. And I believe that's why he had the championship and the champions that he did there. He used everybody from our area. And that's an outstanding job by Coach, President, former
now
Jim
retired.
Tressel.
Yeah,
now retired. Now retired.
But,
That's just.
And Coach over here name dropping here. You know, a lot of the guys that we do see in the community now. You know,
Yeah.
Chris Samarone, practicing lawyer now, among other
My
things.
attorney.
So, we certainly look forward to that. We talk about Bo Brungard again. We got to watch him for at least 3 years at Springfield High School, and he was special. There was no question about it.
Yeah.
And the personality, I think, alone is going to attract a lot of people. He's so polite, but he's energetic.
Yeah.
He reminds you a lot of his father, Mark.
He did many a times coaching when Mark was 7th and 8th grade over at Poland when he wanted to start getting into coaching, or however that worked out for him. And then we were at the Volney Junior High School, and we had some great wars. And then, of course, he knew all my brothers that were affiliated with sports or football, and that was always exciting. I met his parents at the one game that we were down at Salem on a playoff game against Marlington. And I met his dad.
Ironically.
Yes, exactly. They were down at Salem for the playoff game, and it was nice to be introduced to Mr. and Mrs. Brungard. It was a good thrill for me.
Yeah, and certainly we've gotten to talk to them after some Springfield games.
Yes.
Had those little post-game meals, and again, just a great family all together.
Yeah, the whole family is.
And we certainly look forward to see how he's going to develop at Youngstown State University as we get ready for the kickoff of the second half here. LaRon Wilson and Antoine Miller back to return for the Ohio Gladiators. Ohio Gladiators won the toss in the first half. They deferred to the second half, so Ben Lyons will get the second half kicked off here as the sun starts to set over to the west here. Stadium lights on, but we still got some sun trickling in as rain was a threat on and off today, but that was kind of fizzled out by now, I think safe to say, as we were out at the Celebrate Poland event in the last couple of days. A little cloudy last night, but today not bad. They'll have fireworks again in Poland for the 100th anniversary of the Western Reserve Joint Fire District.
A little shout out to the house band, who's Mr. DeVecchio.
Mark DeVecchio, another practicing counselor, and a great guy.
Great singer. Love that band. And their kids are doing the same thing.
So we are ready to get underway here. Third quarter action here. The Cobras lead by a score of 7-3. Lions with a low line drive. It's going to be picked up at the 16-yard line and brought out to the 35. He'll cut out to the outside and be brought down at the 37-yard line. LaRon Wilson on the return out of Massillon Washington High School.
Well, I tell you what, he had the outside. He keeps going. That was a great play, great tackle. Does it look like he was ready to go? That's an outstanding job by the coverage team.
Coach taking care of me on the Gatorade side here. It's getting a little warm up here. Humidity's starting to kick back in here in northeastern Ohio. So much as I love to pay attention to these line, Harlan Page and Andy Code will start the defensive line rotation for the Cobras. Page called for a roughing the passer penalty in the second quarter, which we called questionable.
Very much so. Looked like a good football hit to me.
Skalecki now with Taylor to his left. We have a pause here. I think one of the Cobras had an equipment problem. He'll go back to the sideline. Jamar Fleming, defensive coordinator, will help him get straightened out. And
it's funny here. Skalecki was on the sidelines when I went down to grab something to drink, and from here he looks like a freshman out on that field, but he's much older.
Yes, and I said Danny and I we played together a couple of times, and but make no mistake, he has the ambition of a 21-year-old young man, and again we laughed about all the helmets he would have in his trunk, different colors, and you never know when.
Somebody needed a quarterback.
I mean, it was one of those deals here. If a game broke out, he was going to be prepared. And I've got to pause here. Not really sure why. 14:53 left here. I don't know if there was a timeout taken, but both teams still on the field.
I don't see.
And I don't see any
Sticks.
chain crew.
Right. There's one here.
And I
There we go.
All right, that's important, folks. All right, so they are on the wrong side of the field. All right, we'll get that fixed. Good job by the officials. Overall, the exception of maybe the roughing the passer call.
Right.
Done a relatively good job.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
And if coach says not bad, that's a high compliment. Chris Ballantyne doing a great job with this program here under the GM Doug Horning and owner David George. Twin receivers each side now. Skalecki in the backfield. Taylor to his left. Skalecki. Quick pass out to his left side. That'll be dropped at the 42-yard line by Lisk. Right in his hands, and was one of the old adages, just tried to run before he caught the ball, Coach.
Catch the ball, don't turn your head. He thought he had something, and he did. Oh, that play was set up beautiful. But you would think, because he seems to be their number one receiver, that you'd be on him a little bit more. They haven't. There's got to be adjustment. They got to stay on his hip pocket because he's a quality receiver, and that ball gets there, and he seems to be the number one receiver for Skalecki.
You're getting there.
I'm getting there.
Lisk,
sorry, people.
Lisk will be the receiver to the far side again. This time it'll be hand off to Taylor. Taylor out to the right side. He'll work his way out to the 40 and down to the 43-yard line. Ball on the carpet again. And the Cobras are pointing. Let's see if the officials agree. And indeed they do. The Cobras get their second fumble recovery of the day. And they're going to get it in Ohio Gladiator territory. This one is going to be on Monte Taylor out of Independence High School. And for the Cobras to pick up a win over the Gladiators, the turnover battle is one aspect they had to win.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you what, though, there's a lot of hitting going on out there, and that's exactly what you need to do. Create fumbles, create turnovers, and don't make mistakes. You win football games. It's something that's very simple and easy.
You make it sound so basic.
It is.
Just
the game's not hard. People make it hard.
I had a dime for every time I heard that.
Oh, no.
14:01 left here as we get this third quarter started. Cobras lead by a score of 7-3. They pick up the fumble. It'll be 1st and 10 at the Gladiator 42-yard line. Fort Thompson, who will be in the pistol again. He'll have Martucci to his right. It's going to be T.J. Johnson, the tailback. This time he'll read it off Martucci, pull it, and Thompson will move forward past the 40 and down to the 39-yard line. It'll be second down now for the Cobras.
Yeah, they thought they had him in the backfield, but guess what happened? He pulled it, and off they went. So Mr. Walker thought he had him, but he had him kind of both, but then he was able to pull it and break free. So.
And really, that's a tough thing to read, though, the quarterback, the fullback, and those linebackers are stepping up, but it's really hard to figure out, where you're going to be. You almost catch you flat-footed.
Well, you don't know which one to grab, so he did try to grab both of them, but unfortunately, that's not what happened.
Bayco to be the receiver to the far side. Thompson in the pistol. Quick pass over the middle. It's going to be caught at the 30. Down to the 20-yard line. Keyshawn Baycoat with the catch, and they'll mark him down at the Gladiator 21-yard line. That'll be a first down for the Cobras, and you mentioned early in the first half, little things, quick passes, and it's like they're almost taking a page out of your playbook there, Coach.
Well, it's just they're giving you that inside leverage. So, and that's the case, just run that 5-yard in, or that may have been like a skinny post, but now they're playing up tough. So now run the football. Keep the linebackers back, though.
Bayco be the receiver to the far side. Edwards to the near side. Martucci and Johnson in the backfield. It'll be an option again. Out to Johnson. Johnson past the 15. And he'll get knocked out of bounds right around the 13-yard line.
The pitch phase is pretty good. It's a little long and a little out there, but that's okay because when Slap takes it around at this play, took it around the right-hand side, they bit on it like crazy. Yeah, it was a long pitch. Thank God that he's getting it there, that the running back can get to it. But I'll tell you what, that's an outstanding job. That they have not figured out this option play for the Cobras. So they got to just keep mixing it up. Don't get caught just the same stuff.
Martucci will check out for the Cobras. It'll be Johnson to the right of Thompson in the shotgun. Bayco to be the receiver to the far side. Abe Taylor, a tight end, to the right side as well. Eddie Edwards will be the receiver, one-on-one to the left. Thompson taking the ball up the middle himself, down to the 10-yard line. And that'll be enough for a first down. It'll be first and goal for the Cobras. 11:37 left in the second quarter. And the Cobras having another drive, much like the last one in the second quarter, looking very crisp.
Looks like they made the right changes at halftime. The coaches talked to them, saw what they needed to do, and Slap's taking it under his wing, and that's an outstanding job.
Baycoat will be the near side. Eddie Edwards to the far side. Again, Abe Taylor will be the tight end to the right. Johnson will be to the right of Thompson in the shotgun. He'll read it again. Thompson going to throw it. He's going to pull down, and he'll get to the back to the 10-yard line, and he'll be knocked down. It'll be second and goal for the Cobras.
Yeah, they had that snuffed out. I think they were going to try to run that slant, and there was an inside guy sitting there. He throws it. That's a pick.
A good job by the offensive line, too. A lot of action in the backfield that needs time, and they're getting that right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's exactly what they're doing.
And if you look just from an eyeball standpoint, so to speak, the Ohio Gladiators have a much bigger defensive line than any of the Cobras' offensive linemen. So great job being done tackle to tackle as they'll go back into the pistol formation. Edwards to the right of Thompson. Johnson will be the tailback. He'll give it to Edwards. Edwards moving forward. He'll get down to the 5-yard line. Maybe the 6. They'll give him. It'll be third and goal now from the 6-yard line. And a lot of comfort here for your playbook, Coach, because you have a Ben Lyons back there that can kick.
Right.
So does that open this up a little bit for Adam Rogerson?
Well, here's the key now. Now we got, where are we at? I can't see. We're at third down. I believe so.
Third and goal from the 6.
The sun's got me blinded with the yard marker. You can't see it. It's just orange. So play it smart. Get it close.
Thompson getting in the pistol formation. Edwards to his left. He'll pull it himself, try to get downfield, but he's going to be swallowed up on the offensive line. That's going to bring up fourth down. And that was going to be John Rice making the initial contact. 6'5", 320 out of Mercyhurst University. He's a big guy.
Well, I'll tell you what. Yeah, he did a good job, but they had the option play on this side. If he would have been able to just pitch it quick, that was a touchdown because there was nobody outside.
So Ben Lyons will come on for the 23-yard field goal. Lynn Townsend to hold. Steve Anthony, the long snapper. It's 2:19, so I hope I got the right one, but I do believe that's Townsend. Snap is back. Kick is up, and it is good. 8:51 left here in the third quarter. I'm going to get it right, Coach. Here, I can smell that hot dog over there. The Cobras add 3. They take a 10-3 lead over the undefeated Ohio Gladiators. We're going to step aside for a quick 30-second break and listen to the Cleveland Cobras football here on Western Reserve Radio and the iMedia1 network.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
You're listening to WRDB, Western Reserve Digital Broadcasting, Youngstown, Warren, Salem, and around the world.
$8:51 left here in the third quarter. Cobras add a field goal. Ben Lyons boots 123 yards to put the Cobras up by a score of 10-3, as Coach is indulging in some of the fine concessions here at Duke Stadium. Lyons with a deep kick. And we picked up at the 10-yard line. Be bobbled, but recovered. Brought out to the 25, out to the 30. Out near the 33-yard line. And he'll be brought down unceremoniously to be Antoine Miller on the return. And I believe that was going to be Brandon Fleming on the tackle. Let's see where they mark this one. It's going to be 1st and 10 at the Gladiators' 34-yard line. And they'll be looking to put a drive together here in the second half.
Well, they keep setting this wall up to this right side, and thank God that some of the Cobra players are a little bit quicker than the wall guys, so they're getting around them. But they have it set up. They got to be very careful on kickoffs because they're real close to breaking one.
8:43 of the third quarter. Cobras with a 10-3 lead over the Ohio Gladiators. Skalecki now in the shotgun. Taylor to his left. He's going to have to Taylor. Taylor's going to cut back, and he's going to be hit after he picks up maybe one. They'll give him credit for 2. It'll bring up 2nd and 8 for the Ohio Gladiators.
That was a great job. And a
lot of good work going on between the tackles, Coach, I tell you.
They're getting after it. Linebackers are coming up and they're doing what they need to do, and I like that because that's what they have to do. That was Kelly who came in there and did a nice job on that scrape, and he was there for them, didn't give them any forward momentum. They get a yard.
So 2nd and we'll call it 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9 maybe. Skalecki back to pass out to his right, going to complete that at the 40-yard line. And knocked out of bounds.
Fumbled again.
Ball's going to be picked up by the Cobras at the 30, 20, 15, back to the inside and down at the 6-yard line. Mike Marshall, as we're going to have a flag at the end of the play. And I wasn't sure what happened, Coach. There was an interception. He just stripped it from him, but he came out of the pile with it.
Yeah, and he never went out of bounds. I mean, he just flipped the ball out of his hands and came right down into him. So I don't know what this penalty is going to be. I thought a defensive guy came in there and clobbered somebody from behind.
We'll see. Federer, whatever it was for the Cobras, tried to get some information from the officials, jogged back to the sideline, didn't look real upset. So illegal block in the back, and I think he's pointing in the wrong direction.
Yeah,
but
that's not the right call. It looked like it would have been on the
and indeed, he's going to switch now. He's going to say that's against the Cobras. So the penalty will stand. The Cobras will have the ball 1st and 10 at the Gladiator 18-yard line. 7:39 left here, third quarter. Cobras with their 3rd turnover of the day, and statistically, when you win the turnover battle, things look better for you, and certainly it has so far.
And exactly what I said at the beginning, less mistakes. And that's exactly what's happened. But they can't be satisfied. They got to get this in and get 7. And we have a timeout.
And indeed, the Ohio Gladiators will take a timeout. So we'll step aside for a quick break. You're listening to Cleveland Cobras football here on Western Reserve Radio and the iMedia1 network.
Located in Applewood Estates in Boardman Township, the Applewood Swim and Tennis Club offers a pleasant family environment. Choose a membership that meets your needs and enjoy a relaxing venue that includes not only swimming for the family, but also youth activities such as competitive swimming, tennis, and more. Enjoy the friendly atmosphere all summer long with the staff and members of the Applewood Swim and Tennis Club. For more information, go to applewoodSwimandTennis.com or call 330-953-2833.
Youngstown, Warren, and Salem's local and national sports talk can be found on TuneIn and the Live 365 app at Western Reserve Radio. WRDB, The Scourge.
First and 10 now for the Cobras. 7:39 left here, third quarter. Pistol formation. No receivers to the far side. As Thompson will wait for the snap. He'll read it, pull it from Martucci, and get down past the 15, down to the 13-yard line. It'll be second down for the Cobras.
He does an outstanding job on that. He waits to the last minute. Literally, the defender's there ready to grab whoever, usually the running back, and he pulls it, and he's right behind him. That's a good job.
And I believe we'll have a new face at running back. I believe that's going to be Juwan Carlisle. Normally receiver, but
speed kills.
He'll be behind Thompson. Martucci be to his right. They'll stay in a pistol formation. Twin receivers to the near side. Abe Taylor will be the tight end to the right. Moving right to left on your devices. Thompson with the snap. Back to pass. Fires out to the corner. Looking for Taylor. And it's going to be knocked away on a beautiful defensive play by the defensive back. And again, he's got his jersey wrapped up under his shoulder pad. So,
and that looks like probably 5'8" against 6'2". He just played it right, Jim.
And if I'm guessing, that might be Russell Terry, or Guy Lyons. Not real sure. Again, they get their jerseys tucked up under their pads, so we can't give them any credit. We apologize. 6:12 on a running clock here. Cobras with the 10-3 lead, trying to capitalize on their third turnover of the day. It'll be Edwards and Thompson, the receivers to the near side. Pistol formation. Again, Taylor will be the tight end to the right. Low snap. Thompson going to fake the pitch, try to bring it up field just a little bit. He'll get down to the 14-yard line and bring up fourth down, and we're probably going to see a Ben Lyons field goal attempt from here.
Oh, yeah, he's coming. As soon as we peel everybody off.
So Steve Anthony will be the long snapper. Ben Townsend, I believe, will be the holder. I apologize. Again, we got a couple of double numbers here. But nonetheless, this will be a 31-yard field goal attempt by Ben Lyons. He's already hit one from 18 and 23. Snap is back. Kick is up. And it is good. With 5 minutes even left here in the third quarter, the Cleveland Cobras add 3 onto the board. They take a 13-3 lead over the Ohio Gladiators. Not the touchdown they wanted, but they do capitalize on the turnover, Coach.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, though. If they had a fake field goal to the right side, that whole side came in and collapsed. The linebacker that was outside, he came down up front. There was nobody to the right side. Whew. I love when that happens. We
Coach,
run our
always thinking.
Always thinking. And we ran it. He knows what our fake field goal is. And we scored many a times on that.
Again, we talked about winning the turnover battle, scoring points off the turnovers, and so far it's been good for the Cobras, but a long way to go here. 5 minutes left in the third quarter. The whole fourth quarter yet to come. And the Ohio Gladiators are a really good football team, Coach.
Yeah, they are. They just need to hold on to the ball. They're very disciplined. They're not out of it. You go down there and score. Guess what? Now you're right in there. So they got to do what they have to do. But can't make these mistakes because a good team will get you, and that's exactly what has happened. 2 scores on 2 turnovers.
Antoine Miller to return for the Gladiators. Miller, 5'8", 160 out of Bluffton University. Lions on to kick off. This one will hit right around the 16-yard line and be returned out to the 25, brought down near the 26-yard line. Didn't go all the way down, but Cobras will make sure that they don't get any further.
That was a good job. Now the John starts. That's it. Teammates get over there, shut up, get them off the field. We're winning this game. Let's not lose our tempers. Cost us.
4:49 left here, third quarter. Cobras with a 13-3 lead over the Ohio Gladiators. It's a long way to go, though, here at Duke Stadium in Alliance, Ohio. Gladiators will start off with the ball at their own 28-yard line.
No, nothing quick. Nothing quick. Let's what and they've been running the runoff on the wide receiver with a quick screen underneath. So be aware of that.
It'll be Lisk and Mitchell, the receivers to the far side for the Gladiators. Skalecki, quick pass out there on a quick pitch. And they'll bring the ball out to the 33-yard line. Kind of a small version of the hook and lateral there, Coach.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. 100%. They needed to bunch it up just a little bit more. It took too much time, and the defensive scrapings came over.
Clock running with 4:25. left in this third frame. And Townsend now in for the Cobras. Will be the outside linebacker to the near side. Skalecki in the shotgun. He's going to have Taylor to his right. Twin receivers to each side. Skalecki pitching it out to the outside. Taylor going to pick up the ball, and he's going to work his way out to midfield. And he'll be brought down inside Cobra territory near the 39-yard line. Going to be knocked out by Chris Frazier. And a big play for the Ohio Gladiators.
Yeah, all that was speed option left. That's all that was. And he took the ball, leading, coming down the line. The end was there. He pitched it, and off and running.
3:39 as the clock continues to run. Skalecki, a quarterback. Taylor running back to his left. Twin receivers to each side. That'll be Filey to the right side. Looking for Filey. He's going to overthrow him at the 35-yard line. Danny not getting his feet set there, and the ball sailed on him.
Yeah, not only that, the defender needs to come up on that. I mean, he was 10 yards off, so he catches that ball. He's getting downfield in a hurry. They have got to shore up those defensive backs on this. They're giving them too much room.
Kamari Mitchell will check out for the Gladiators. Looks like he's a little shaken up, but came off on his own. 3:14, clock is stopped now. Second down for the Gladiators. One receiver to each side this time. Taylor to the right of Skalecki in the shotgun. Skalecki looking over the middle, going to complete that ball at the 35-yard line down to the 34. And that's going to be Tony Perrine on the catch out of Malone University.
I'll tell you what, he was fighting with that ball. They almost coughed that up again. Whoever made that tackle had that paw in there and was digging at it.
So 2nd and 3 for the Ohio Gladiators. Ball at the 33-yard line. Make that the 34-yard line. 2:42 left here, second quarter. Perrine will be the receiver to the far side. Filey will be the receiver to the near side. Skalecki back to pass, looking out to his right. Going to fire, and it's going to be caught at the 21-yard line, brought down at the 20. And the aforementioned Filey going to catch that, and we're going to have a flag on the play. That came from the far side. Might be a sideline warning on the Gladiators.
No, they called that on the Cobras.
Or excuse me, on the Cobras, indeed. He's on that far side. So hopefully, I don't believe there's going to be any yards assessed, but
Jim, I'm sitting here when they lined up, and I said in my head when I was going to say something. I didn't want to interrupt you, but they're going to throw the slant because it's wide open, and sure enough, he did.
Okay, first and 10 now for the Gladiators at the 15-yard line. Don't know what the penalty was. We missed a call on that. It'll be one receiver to each side now. Skalecki back to pass, fires out to his right. He's got Lisk into the end zone. Touchdown for the Ohio Gladiators. Grant Lisk out of Sebring High School catches the 15-yard touchdown pass from Skalecki.
I'll tell you what, this kid, he's a good athlete. He catches the ball well, has a nice basket with his hands, and he brings it in. So, outstanding receiver. And there's a high school like Sebring that you don't hear too much about them. You know, they're 0-4, or they win a couple of games, and people don't realize that there are quality players down there. It's just that a lot of them, you know, they don't have enough. So that's a good job.
Will Shropshire on to kick the extra point out of Garfield High School. Kick is up, and it is good. So with 2:09 left here in the third quarter, the Ohio Gladiators get their first touchdown of the day. They cut the Cobras' lead to a score of 13-10. We're going to step aside for a quick timeout. You're listening to Cleveland Cobras football here on Western Reserve Radio and the iMedia1 Network.
Golf in the Mahoning Valley starts at Mill Creek Golf Course. Mill Creek Golf Course is the host venue for the AJGA PGA Hope Program, 8 high school teams, and 2 collegiate teams. Mill Creek Golf Course is your Callaway certified golf club fitting facility. It was named the PGA of America's National Merchandiser of the Year for a public facility 2022. Book your tee time at 330-740-7112 or online at millcreekmetroparks.org.
Youngstown, Warren, and Salem's local and national sports talk can be found on TuneIn and the Live 365 app at Western Reserve Radio. WRDB, The Scourge.
.209 left here in the third quarter. The Ohio Gladiators cut the Cobras lead to 13-10 on a 15-yard touchdown pass from Danny Skalecki to Grant Lisk. And this game not over by any stretch of the imagination there, Coach.
Oh, no. This is going to go down to the wire.
It's going to be Wise and Tyree Knight to return for the Cobras, but it's going to be fielded at the 26-yard line. And brought out to the 31-yard line. And a host of white jerseys bringing down the returner in the front. Try to get a number for you.
And we got a flag, Jim.
Gaddy going to be the returner.
That's a cut block. That's, what is that, 15?
And indeed that will be if that's the case. That will take away from the starting field position, which wasn't going to be bad. Apologize for the camera work. We're working a little short here, so indeed a low block against the Cobras. That'll set them back 15 yards. 2:03 left here third quarter. Cobras still with a 13-10 lead here at Duke Stadium. Back and forth affair here. And for some reason, looks like we got a Gladiator player in the Cobra huddle. I'm not sure what's going on there.
Well, he just wants to know what the play is.
Dre Hollenshed out of Bucknell High School. 6'3", 260. Glad I'm not buying clothes for these guys. Some size on them.
Yeah. How'd you like to feed them? Clothes is nothing.
Yeah, there is no post-game dinner. I learned a lesson on that one.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Levante Perry. I love you, brother.
Levante Perry. That man could eat.
He got me. Antonio Boyd will be the receiver to the near side now as Cobras wait to reset their offense. D'Angelo Thompson in that receiver as well. 2:03 left here, third quarter. Cobras with a 13-10 lead. Gladiators get a touchdown on a 15-yard Skalecki to Lisk pass. Great pattern, too, on that touchdown, Coach. Right on the flag there.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way you draw it up.
It's the way you want it. All right, here we go.
And no game next week as Tri-Point Football League will take time off for the 4th of July holiday. So Boyd and Thompson will be the receivers to the near side. Pistol formation. T.J. Johnson, the fullback this time. Emma Calhoun, the tailback. Thompson waiting for the snap. Tight end to the right side now. Walker from the Gladiators showing some pressure. Ball going to be on the ground. And it's going to be picked up by Thompson again, who he'll be knocked down at the 9-yard line, but that could have ended way worse, Coach.
Oh, that could have been deadly. Thank God that ball bounce was funny, but it bounced right back into his breadbasket, so a little loss of yards there, but
a little bit of confusion on the handoff, I think, on the read.
Yeah.
Where they had Martucci and Johnson in there earlier. They had Johnson at fullback and Emmett Calhoun at tailback now.
But, you know, what's weird is you don't have to play conservative. I understand where they're at, but the slants have been working, stuff like that down the field, and that's what you need to do right here. I believe that. You got to run, fake the zone, throw it.
Boyd and Thompson, again, the receivers to the near side. Calhoun remain at tailback. TJ Johnson will be the fullback to the right side of Thompson. Thompson will pitch out to Calhoun. Calhoun trying to find the edge, get to the outside, and nowhere to go. He's going to lose a few more yards on this. He'll be down at the 5. And the Cobras going the wrong way. As it looked like Rashawn Simmons came in and made the tackle out of Elwood Christian Academy. Maybe just a quick run, coach, try to get a few yards, maybe punt this one away.
Yeah, now you've put yourself in a bad situation here, so be safe here. Try to get a good punt, get it out of there.
Third down now for the Cobras. Thompson will be in the shotgun. He'll have Calhoun to his left. Boyd and D'Angelo Thompson will be the receivers to the near side. Edwards and Wise will be the receivers to the far side. Thompson waiting for the snap, standing in his own end zone, back to pass. Stepping up in the pocket, trying not to get tackled in the end zone. And he's going to throw this one out to Calhoun in the flat. He'll make it out past the 15 down to the 16-yard line. And that'll bring up fourth down for the Cobras. Got a little bit of breathing room for the punt, but
it's getting a little chippy now, too.
They'll mark this at the 16-yard line. 5 seconds left here at third quarter. They'll let this one wind down as we head to the fourth quarter here in Alliance. We're going to step aside for a quick timeout. Cobras with a 13-10 lead. You're listening to Cleveland Cobras football here on the Western Reserve Radio and the iMedia1 network. Golf in the Mahoning Valley starts at Mill Creek Golf Course. Come out to the 36 beautiful hole design course by Donald Ross, and golf lessons are available by calling the team shop at 330-740-7112. Don't forget about family fun nights on Friday and Saturday evenings, a family of 4 with cart for only $25. Or visit the Wick Recreation Area and the lighted Par 3 course. Book your tee time today at 330-740-7112 or online at millcreekmetroparks.org.
Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Tyree Knight, number 2 of the Cleveland Cobras, and you're listening to the Tri-Point Football League on Western Reserve Radio and the iMedia1 network. Go Cobras!
Fresh 15 up on the board as we go to the fourth quarter here. Cobras with a 13-10 lead. However, Ben Lyons coming on to punt this one away, and he'll post up right around his own 1-yard line. Steve Anthony coming in for the long snap for Cleveland. And it'll be Antoine Miller to return. Miller lining up right around his own 43-yard line as Gladiators try to find the right personnel to keep on the field. Lyons with the low snap. He'll get this one up, and he'll get this one away. It'll be fielded at the 48-yard line. Probably would have been better off taking a fair catch there, Coach.
Yeah,
but
he got clocked.
The worst, maybe the worst job in football, standing there with your looking up in the sky, waiting for that ball to come down. Got a Gladiator down. Looks like somebody was trying some CPR on him, but
I think he was just, that's, you know what?
Well, it worked. He got up and ran off the field. So congratulations to that young man.
Yeah, you can't do that, though. That's just, you don't want to even fake that. That's not good.
Yeah, considering that.
Considering what we saw with the kid from Buffalo, I mean, that just was, oof.
The Gladiators, 1st and 10 at the Cobra 47-yard line, 14:59 of the final frame here. 13-10 is the Cobra lead. Cleveland with 3 turnovers here so far in the game, but only up by a field goal.
These guys running the sticks, they're a little confused.
Skalecki now with Taylor to his left. 2 receivers to each side. Skalecki now on the read. He'll pass out to the right side, and he's got a receiver open, or looked like he had a receiver looking for Lisk, but it looked like the Cobra defender was the one on the pattern. And I believe that was going to be Eric Bankhead on the defense. And
that should have been a pick.
Now we know why he's a defensive back.
That should have been a pick. That went right to him, and he dropped the ball.
Eric I'll tell you, Bankhead has made some great plays here this year. some hits to knock the ball away. And
Yeah.
that situation, I'm sure he's going to look back at that one and say, you know what, I should have had that.
Well, they've got to keep an eye on Lisk because this kid is their number one receiver, and they have got to shut him down or he's going to pick them apart.
Skalecki with the handoff to Taylor. Taylor to the outside, nowhere to go. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, not much more than that. It'll bring up third down for the Ohio Gladiators.
Now look for Lisk. Cobra's got to be aware of where he's at. He seemed to be his bread and butter guy. And at 3rd and 9, you know he's going to be a part of this.
Perrine will go off for the Gladiators. Devontae Neal Asher will come on to replace him. Sun just about setting here. Stadium lights are on. And we can see the down markers now across the field. So we'll call it 3rd and 9. As Skalecki will remain in the shotgun. Taylor to his left. Skalecki back to pass. Fires out to the left side. And it just couldn't connect with the receiver. He was looking for Kamari Mitchell. Mitchell just didn't make the cut.
Well, the other thing, too, is he had gladiators in his lap, and he had no chance to get that. I'm sure if he had it back, he would have hit it on the break. But right now, it just wasn't happening. And we have an offensive coordinator out there talking stuff here, so they might be going.
Well, 4th and 9 for the Ohio Gladiators at the 46-yard line.
Yeah, they got to be careful here. Are they going to quick kick it, or are they just going to they have to be very, very careful with this.
Skalecki did that earlier, as we had mentioned. He's known to do that. Did a really good job on it, too. Was able to change sides of the field. 13:25 left here, 4th quarter. Cobras with a 13-10 lead. As they'll put Tyree Knight back near the 20-yard line. He'll play safety as well. Skalecki up the pass, going to be knocked down at the line of scrimmage. That's going to be Robert Littlejohn coming in off the edge, gets the hand up. We talk about his height, his length. He used that all to his advantage.
Absolutely. He come around there barreling. He dipped that shoulder, got around the end, and was there. Quarterback releases, bang, that thing goes down. That was I don't understand that, giving him the ball on the 45-yard line, 46-yard line going in. It's just too much yards to give up. They should have punted that, pinned him back, because they did nothing with it when last time they were back. Their backs to the end zone. But again, great job by the Cobras. Now go down there and get something done. Now let's get that 10-point spread. Now that's what you need.
A lot of confidence in the defense for Chris Ballantyne. Cobras now coming out in an empty set. 4 receivers to the near side. Antonio Boyd will be the receiver one-on-one to the far side. Thompson waiting for the snap. Back to pass. Looking downfield, fires over the middle. He's going to hit Matt Wise at the 43-yard line. Wise going to be upended and down at the 42-yard line. That'll be 1st and 10 for the Cobras.
Again, safe. If I was the Cobras coach, I would be complaining to the officials because these guys are making calls. They're barking out the signals. That should be a penalty or a warning on the sidelines for the Gladiators. They're not allowed to do that.
D'Angelo Thompson, Daryl Golson, Wise, and Keyshawn Coate, the receivers for the Cobras.
Wow.
4 receivers to the near side. Thompson in the backfield by himself, empty set. 12:34 left here, 4th quarter. Cobras with a 13-10 lead. Thompson, 3-step drop, looks out to his right, under pressure. He's going to be brought down. Nowhere to go. And that was a lot of beef coming down right on top of him. That's going to be Dre Hollenshed out of Brookdale High School, making the initial contact, and that's going to knock the Cobras back.
If you're going to line up 4 wide and have nobody backside, you've got to get rid of that ball now. You got to throw a quick slant or something. You cannot hold the ball like that because backside's coming like a train.
So just about 2nd and 17 now for the Cobras. They'll remain in the empty set. 3 receivers now to the near side, 2 to the far side, moving left or right on your devices. 11:39 left here, 4th quarter. Thompson waiting for the snap. Thompson back to pass. Has time, rolling out to his right. He's got to get rid of it. Under pressure, and it's going to be thrown into the turf. Third down now for the Cobras. That was probably the best outcome they could ask for on that.
Well, his helmet ended up on a Gladiator's sidelines from in between the hash and the yard. I don't understand how that wasn't a penalty. Somebody either threw a helmet or something.
Well, he's trying to move it so nobody tripped over it.
So I wonder his head wasn't in it.
11:04 left here in the fourth quarter. Showing third down for the Cobras. They'll have to correct that as some confusion here. Jesse Caldwell on one side, Chris Ballantyne on the other. And now Adam Rogerson.
What are we complaining?
I think the argument it's third down, not fourth down, as the person holding the down marker had it fourth down and then flipped it back to third, and I don't know.
We're confused as you.
All right, well, we'll call this third down.
They're saying third down.
They have to get to the 32-yard line for a first down. Thompson in the shotgun. T.J. Johnson to his right. And I believe the Cobras are going to take a timeout. With 11:04 left here in the fourth quarter, we'll step aside for a quick break. You're listening to Cleveland Cobras football here on Western Reserve Radio and the iMedia1 network.
So, are you enjoying our station? Well, now you can take us along on your mobile device wherever you go.
Wow!
The free Live 365 app is available for both Apple and Android devices.
That sounds like fun. I'll give it a try.
Just go to the Apple app or Google Play Store and download it today.
You're listening to WRDB, Western Reserve Digital Broadcasting, Youngstown, Warren, Salem, and around the world.
$11:04 left here in this game. A little bit of confusion here now, but we'll call it third down. Cobras with the ball at the midfield stripe. They'll have to get to the 32-yard line for the first down and still have some conversation going on with the officials. And now we have a flag. And I think they're going to have a sideline warning against Adam Rogerson. They're going to keep arguing the point, but it's going to cost them here at some point, Coach.
Yeah, I don't know what the argument is. They gave him third down. They gave him from there. I don't know what the argument is, but the official threw a flag. So,
and so they're going to stop the clock, and it'll be on the official.
Okay, so I'm curious to see if they're going to pick up the flag.
Again, the initial indication was a sideline warning. So whatever it was, maybe the coach made a good point, then they're going to wave that off. I don't know. Quite frankly,
yeah,
they're not really telling us.
Yeah, because I don't know what the argument would be. I'm a little confused on that.
Defensive battle here so far. Scoring would start off in 5:27 of the second quarter. Shropshire would get an 18-yard field goal to put the Gladiators up 3-0. And with 15 seconds left in the first half, Slap Thompson would go 3 yards into the end zone to put the Cobras up by a score of 7-3. Third quarter scoring, Ben Lyons would get a 23-yard field goal. They'd put the Cobras up 10-3. Followed at 5 minutes of the third quarter.
Curious to see what they're going to do with the flag.
.209 of the third quarter. Skolecki to Lisk on a 15-yard touchdown pass would cut the Cobra lead to 13-10. Not real sure what's going on here. We have an unexpected delay here. I don't know what the officials are doing, but okay, we just have some. ringing in my head. That's all right. The medication is starting to wear off, Coach.
Yes, that's you. Jim, you didn't take your happy pills this morning.
I guess not. It's got some lighting up here. We got a dimmer up here, Coach. Kind of some mood lighting.
Ambiance, a little ambiance.
That's the word I was looking for.
What is the holdup?
I have no idea, but Adam Rogerson and Jesse Caldwell are out near the hash marks, or at least between the numbers and the hash marks, talking with the umpire and the referee.
And Jesse's got his clipboard out there, so I'm a little.
I wonder if that's his comment card, his critique card.
Yes. Maybe he's counting plays. I don't know. We're sorry, folks. We don't know what's going on, but there was a stoppage. It should be 3rd and 10.
Well,
is what they have it marked.
Well, actually, it's going to be 3rd and. Well,
I'm sorry.
Yep.
3rd and 20.
Close.
Close.
It's 3rd and a lot. We'll go that way.
3rd and Tuesday.
We do have 11:04 left here in the fourth quarter, and for some unknown reason, we've had some delays here. As there was an argument between 3rd and 4th down. Head coach Chris Ballantyne on the field, kind of asking questions like, "Well, what are we doing? Let's get back to football." And I don't know. So just after the 9 o'clock hour here in Alliance.
Yeah, we were doing good there for a while.
That was moving along quite efficiently, but somebody said something and must have thought they made a good point, and here we stand.
Yes.
So, again, to remind you, Tri-Point Football League off next weekend. As Skalecki and Slap Thompson now are so bored, they will get together on the hash marks and say hi to each other.
Probably the two oldest players on the field.
I'm going to guess at this point. So it's Danny has played around the area at this level. I'll tell you that much. Maybe talking about some post-game dinner plans here.
Yeah, I would imagine.
We're not too far from Cleveland.
They're probably saying, how's the kids? How's the wife? And in his case, maybe grandchildren. That's terrible. That's terrible.
Again, 11:04 left here. Cobras with a 13-10 lead. We will take a moment to step aside. As Adam Rogers, I don't know. He just keeps moving across closer to this side of the field. We may be able to get a call from him as Ballantyne now will go out and they'll have a head coach discussion here near midfield. We're going to step aside for a break, see if we can get this figured out. Hopefully when we come back, we'll have some kind of answer for you. You're listening to Cleveland Cobras football here on Western Reserve Radio and the iMedia1 network.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday, 10 to 4, and Saturday, 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
Located in Applewood Estates in Boardman Township, the Applewood Swim and Tennis Club offers a pleasant family environment. Choose a membership that meets your needs and enjoy a relaxing venue that includes not only swimming for the family, but also youth activities such as competitive swimming, tennis, and more. Enjoy the friendly atmosphere all summer long with the staff and members of the Applewood Swim and Tennis Club. For more information, go to applewoodswimandtennis.com or call 330-953-2833.
Professional, fast, highly knowledgeable, easy to work with. These are real reviews by customers of Sandrock Concrete. For all your concrete block, brick, stone, stonework, and excavating needs, call Jerry Sandrock. For your free estimate at 330-506-0013. Sandrock Concrete is fully insured and ready to make your ideas a reality. Sandrock Concrete is a proud supporter and sponsor of Mahoning Valley High School football on Western Reserve Radio.
You're listening to WRDB, Western Reserve Digital Broadcasting, Youngstown, Warren, Salem, and around the world.
11:04 left here in this game. I don't know if we're any better off than we were when we went to break, as it looked like the officials gave a stoppage signal and pointed towards the Cobras as if they took a timeout. So I don't know if they're going to charge Adam Rogerson with a timeout because of the delay. Quite frankly, we just don't know.
No, we do not know. We're no signal, no nothing. So here we go.
All right, we're going to play some football here. 11:04 left here in the fourth quarter. 4 wide receivers set for the Cobras. Thompson will be in the shotgun with Johnson to his right. Johnson passing out near the 40-yard line. That's going to be incomplete. That will bring up fourth down definitely. Little trickeration play there, Coach. Didn't really pan out for him.
No, that didn't go nowhere. All right, they just got to shut it down defensively. That's all.
Ben Lyons.
Go ahead, Jim. Sorry.
That's, again, defensive battle. We anticipated this, Coach, but
right.
The offense is coming to life here in the second and third quarters. And could come down to the battle of the kickers also.
Yeah, it could.
So 10:46 left here in this game. As we update the score for you on our graphics, we're catching up.
Well, now we got 12 men on the field.
And not really such a big thing, though, for if you're going to punt. Okay. All right. So,
what? Okay, I'm confused.
Again, the official had to check himself just to make sure.
They had 12 guys on the field, the Gladiators, and they backed it. Holy mackerel.
Well, if you have 12 on 12, doesn't that, algebraically speaking, does that cancel it out?
Offsetting penalties.
Okay. So Ben Lyons back to punt for the Cobras. 13-10 is the Cleveland lead. Steve Anthony on the snap. Good snap. Lions will get this one away. Going to be awkward kick. Going to head out of bounds near the 40-yard line. We'll see where they mark this. The official will start his trek at the 40, and indeed they'll say that's where the Ohio Gladiators will take over 1st and 10 with 10:46 left here in the fourth quarter.
It's been a little interesting these last 4 or 5 minutes, but hopefully it
Which
gets
actually have taken about 20 minutes street time. So. We're not talking about clock time, folks. No.
This is not clock time.
All right. We'll get this right because eventually they're going to shut the lights out on us. Very close game here. Gladiators with 13-10 lead. Cleveland with 3 turnovers. 2 Ben Lyons field goals and a Dave Thompson run account for all the points here for Cleveland. 4 wide receivers set for the Gladiators. Skalecki in the shotgun.
Got to keep an eye on Lisk.
Taylor to his left. Skalecki back to pass. Fires out to his left. And it's going to be intended for Lisk. Almost picked off. And I believe that was going to be Chris Frazier that broke that up. And if he would have had an extra step on that, I think he would have had 6 going the other way.
Oh, there was nobody catching him. The ball actually bounced out of his hands. He catches that. He gets it on the dead run. And he got to walk to the end zone.
10:40 left in the fourth quarter.
They also got to watch some trickery, too, because it could have very well, of course, that looked like it was a forward pass. You don't know what kind of arm this kid got either.
Devontae Neal Nasher, the receiver to the far side this time. Skalecki with the handoff to Taylor. Taylor working his way upfield, and he'll be brought down just past the 40. He'll fight his way down. May even get to the 45-yard line. They'll blow the whistles. We'll see where they give him the progress, and indeed, it will be at the 45-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd and 5 now for the Gladiators with 10:06 left.
Rolling the pile off. There was a big pile of bodies there, so now let's see what we got. 3rd and 5 on their own, so we'll see what the Gladiators have in store for them.
So Bankhead and Cam Scott On the corners now for the Gladiators. Lively at the safety. Skalecki back to pass. Under pressure. He could be brought down. And he's down in the backfield for a big loss.
And there is a flag. It's either going to be, maybe defensive holding.
Wow, and that call, I believe, is going to be against Chris Frazier. 9:23 left here in the fourth quarter.
That is huge.
Now, they've got the ball marked at the 41-yard line, but...
Yep, holding.
Wow. A key call coming now as the ball will be moved to the Cobra 49-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Gladiators. 9:23 left here, fourth quarter, Coach, and that's quite the call to make, especially on a great play by that front four again.
Yeah, that's, wow. Can't believe that call.
Twin receivers again to each side. Skalecki with Taylor to his left. 1st and 10 now to Cobra 49-yard line. Cleveland showing a little bit of pressure up front. They'll bring some pressure. He'll get it quickly out to the flats, and it'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. I believe that's going to be Perrine on the catch for the Gladiators.
Plenty of time.
Pick up 4. It'll be 2nd and 6. As the clock will continue to run here, 8:45 left here in this game. Cobras with a 13-10 lead over the Gladiators. Devontae Neal Asher will check in out of Alliance High School, playing right here in his hometown, or at least close to it.
Yep.
Twin receivers to the far side now, single receiver to this side. Moving right to left. Skalecki taking a moment to scan the defense. Taylor to his left. Quick pass out to Taylor. Taylor trying to find the corner. He's going to be brought down on the other side of the 50-yard line. A big loss for the Ohio Gladiators. Brought down by Chris Frazier. Chased him down in the backfield.
That's a great play. I'll tell you what, he reacted. He saw it very early, was able to react it, and then sat and got him for a loss. That's outstanding. Now you got 3rd and long. Be safe here. Keep him in front of you. Don't give him too much.
Taylor, not a slow guy, but Chris Frazier chasing him down from behind. Impressive.
Yeah, that was he grabbed another gear, that's for sure.
Twin receivers to each side now.
There you go, up and tough.
3rd and 11 for the Gladiators. 7:24. Skalecki fires over the middle, going to complete out at the 40. Out to the 35, 30, and down at the 31-yard line. Finally, on the catch, it'll be a 1st down for the Gladiators at the 30.
Gave him too much. Got behind him, in front of him, and then that was it. I mean, ball was there on a dead run.
For both teams, everything on the inside has been deadly.
Yeah, very much so, Jim.
Skalecki now with Taylor to his right. Back to pass. He'll fire out to Taylor in the flats. Taylor looking for room to run. He's going to turn around, go in the wrong direction, and he's going to be brought down. Flag on the play, and it looks like this is going to be a face mask coming up against Cleveland. And I believe they're going to have Bobby Eccles.
Yeah, but I don't think he grabbed.
I was just going to say, Coach, I agree with you.
No, he didn't grab the face mask because he had his arm around his helmet and the kid ducked. No, that should not be a penalty.
And indeed, they're going to mark it off here.
Wow. So, holy mackerel.
Again, 2 big calls against the defense. That'll be another 1st down. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Gladiators at the Cobra 21-yard line. 6:52 here left in this game. Gladiators trail by a score of 13-10. Lisk now will be the receiver to the near side. He'll be in the Twins formation. Dual receivers to the far side. Taylor to the left of Skalecki. Skalecki looking to fire downfield, fires out in the flats, and it's going to be knocked away. A fantastic play by Eric Bankhead. Pass intended for Lisk, and Bankhead almost had that timed up.
That was outstanding. I'll tell you what, though, they both were battling for that. He could have come down with it, but it would have ended up probably either a no gain or a loss on that. But, wow, that was outstanding.
Great battles back and forth today between these two teams. 6:31. Clock will continue to run. Skolecki will bring the play in from the sideline. Really no scores posted from around the area, so we do apologize for that. We'd also like to see what's going on around the area, but nothing good. Skolecki with a handoff to Taylor. Taylor up the middle. Pass at 15, down to the 10, 5, inside the 5, and down at the 1-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for the Gladiators with 6 minutes left here in this game. Gladiators going right back to the line of scrimmage. You got the feeling Taylor was bound to break one. Gladiators doing a good job between the tackles again.
Here comes the fullback.
Doug Walker.
All right, there was
almost came in.
Okay, there were three came out. Timeout.
And the Gladiators will indeed take a timeout to get their personnel in place. We'll step aside for a quick break. You're listening to Cleveland Cobras football here on Western Reserve Radio and the iMedia1 network.
So, are you enjoying our station? Well, now you can take us along on your mobile device wherever you go.
Wow!
The free Live 365 app is available for both Apple and Android devices.
That sounds like fun. I'll give it a try.
Just go to the Apple app or Google Play Store and download it today.
You're listening to WRDB, Western Reserve Digital Broadcasting, Youngstown, Warren, Salem, and around the world.
Hi, it's Mark Means, host of By All Means, Tuesdays at 5, right here on Western Reserve Radio, WRDB, The Scourge.
Youngstown, Warren, and Salem's local and national sports talk can be found on TuneIn and the Live 365 app at Western Reserve Radio, WRDB, The Scourge.
Coach's favorite return music there. 5:22 left here, fourth quarter. Cobras with a 13-10 lead. Gladiators knocking on the door. 1st and goal at the 1-yard line. As it will be Taylor to the left of Skolecki in a shotgun. They'll bring in 2 offensive linemen who will line up to the right side. One to the tight end, one to the fullback. Give it to Taylor. Taylor's going to be brought down. Nowhere to go. Chris Frazier came off the backside like a cannonball and brought him down. Well read. He's done that a couple times today, Coach.
Yeah, he saw that seam, and they're missing blocking assignments up front, and hey, give him a seam, and he's shot out of a cannon, and he just ate that up.
They'll put in a receiver. They'll bring out that extra offensive lineman. That was Rashawn Simmons out of Elwood Christian Academy. Probably had a good idea, Coach, but just didn't get that play executed fast enough.
No, not at all.
So 2nd and goal. Ball at the 6-yard line now. It'll be a loss of 5. Skolecki with Taylor to his left. He'll have a fullback to his right. It'll be offset. This time to give it to Taylor again. Taylor working his way towards the end zone and into the end zone for the Gladiator touchdown. 4:46 left here in this game. The Gladiators take the lead for the first time today by a score of 16-13, and it's going to be the all-important extra point coming up, Coach.
Yeah. Got to kick this one. I wouldn't take a chance of going for 2 because you lose it, you're down 3.
Yeah, really have good kickers on both sides. And Shropshire will come in for the extra point for the Gladiators. This is a critical, as we'll have a flag on the play. So an illegal substitution again against the Gladiators. That'll back them up 5. Really shouldn't affect.
That's 12.
That really shouldn't affect the distance issue for Shropshire.
It's an extra guy. It's only the extra point.
Well, extra guy, extra point.
I mean, what do they want?
And it'll be Neil Asher coming off the field, and I would stay away from Chris Ballantyne on that one. Shropshire with the kick. It is up, and it is good. So flag on the play now after the play, I believe. 4:46 left here in this game. The Gladiators take a lead for the first time today by a score of 17-13. We have a long way to go, Coach, and it looks like we're going to have a dead ball foul coming up against the Ohio Gladiators, I do believe.
I don't know.
We had
the officials
Cobra helmet.
Right, but the officials were pointing towards the Cobra, so I'm hoping they were just saying, look, it's his helmet.
So, again, just a lot of confusion here in this second half. The flag came from the far side of the field, which would be the head linesman. They'll discuss it right around the 17-yard line. Nonetheless,
dead ball,
unsportsmanlike against the Cobras. I don't know about that one, Coach.
There's been a couple of questionable things that we.
Well, and again, we're not, I guess, hearing what's going on down there. So as much as we try to maybe pump up the crowd mic a little bit here, maybe we'll catch some of it. But Jesse Caldwell out there talking to the official, trying to find out what the deal is. But we'll see if they elect to take this on the kickoff. Again, 4:46 left here in this game. Gladiators, for the first time today, take a 17-13 lead. So a critical drive coming up for the Cobras after they assess this penalty. So I believe they're going to be kicking off from the 50-yard line.
35. Yep, 15 yards, yeah.
So Tyree Knight and Emmett Calhoun back to return for the Cobras, 2 and 3, respectively. As the umpire will count up the players for the Gladiators.
Yeah, they seem to get that wrong. So that's nice that he's counting for them.
Okay, so Shropshire will kick this one off from the midfield stripe. And it will go towards the end zone and no return on this one. Cobras will take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They have 4:46 to work with, Coach, and 80 yards to go.
Well, that's very possible. That can be done. And I mean, if they come out like they finished and go right down the field, I mean, that's a good thing. But right now, they don't have a choice. They have got to get even close to a field goal. And that's not going to help you.
The Cobras trailing by 4.
Yep, got to score.
So 1st and 10 now for the Cobras at the 25-yard line. I keep saying 20, Coach. I can't break that habit after so many years.
Yeah, I understand it. I understand. It's just like the kickoffs where they're kicking from. I mean, everything has changed.
Baycoat and Wise will be the receivers to the near side. TJ Johnson will be the running back behind Dave Thompson in the shotgun. Thompson back to pass. Fires out to his left. That's going to be complete at the 31. And brought out at the to the 34-yard line. And it'll be 2nd and 1 for the Cobras.
These guys will learn as they, if they were to watch film, instead of him going inside, he should have ran to the out of bounds, killed the clock.
4:22 as the clock continues to run here. As we wind down week 4 of the Tri-Point Football League. Antonio Boyd, D'Angelo Thompson will be the receivers of the far side. It'll be Wise and Baycoat to the near side. Thompson in a shotgun, TJ Johnson behind him. Thompson back to pass, stepping up in the pocket. He's going to be brought down. He's going to lose a yard or two. That's going to bring up, we'll call it 3rd and 3 now for the Cobras.
That is a big individual. Adam Root Bear Wise on that tackle. He is a massive human being. But I'll tell you what, he's got some wheels. That big guy can move.
And a great football name, too.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
3:30 left here. I'll call it 3rd and 2 now for the Cobras. Receivers 2 by 2, moving left to right on your devices. Thompson waiting for the snap. Johnson to his right. Quick pass. And it'll be enough for a first down for the Cobras, but clock will stop only long enough to set the sticks. They'll get the ball at the 36-yard line.
Well, they needed to get that first down, but now play should be called right now. Get in the huddle, get the play in, and get it going before the clock starts.
You almost want to see him go back to that pistol formation with Martucci and Johnson in the backfield there. They seem to be doing so well in terms of timing.
Absolutely.
So 4 wide receiver set, 2 by 2. It'll be Wise and Baycoat to the near side. Thompson and Boyd to the far side. Dave Thompson with the snap. He'll read it off of TJ Johnson. Taking himself, get out to the 38-yard line. They won't give him credit for the 39. They'll say his knee went down. 2:32 left here in this game. Cobras trail by a score of 17-13.
That defensive line is just teeing off on the offense. Cobras have got to shore that up a little bit. They got to get some yardage here.
Same formation for the Cobras. Thompson waiting for the snap. Johnson to his right. Back to pass. Thompson stepping up in the pocket. Nowhere to go. He's going to have to take it himself. Out near the 50, down to the 45, inside the 45, down to the 43-yard line.
Now get up and get moving. Get up and get moving.
That'll be a first down for the Cobras. The clock will stop just long enough to set the markers. 1:59 left.
Slap took a timeout.
And a timeout taken by the Cobras. We'll keep it right here as time winds down. Tight game here, Coach. 17-13. Under 2 minutes, just a second, under 2 minutes left. I want to thank you for joining us in Week 4 here of the Tri-Point Football League. The Cobras come in at 2-1. The Gladiators look to stay undefeated. They are 3-0. I was hoping to have some scores for you from around the league, but that really hasn't panned out for us.
It's just one of them nights, Jim.
It is. Nobody wants to tell us. We understand. They don't keep these secrets this well in Washington. Wow.
No. That's all right. There's no secrets. So we'll just keep them in garages and, stuff like that.
Oh, where do you keep your secrets?
I do, right next to my Corvette.
All right. There you go. 1:59 left here in this game. Cobras take the timeout. They come back out. Receivers 2 by 2. Johnson to the right of Thompson. Thompson giving some last-second instructions. Back to pass. He'll step up in the pocket. Fire out to Johnson out to the 40 and down to the 37-yard line.
Got to move, got to move, got to move.
1:45 as the clock continues to run. Cobras are going to huddle up here.
Wow.
They're going to have to move a little bit quicker. And I got to be honest, I haven't really paid attention to the timeouts remaining for the Cobras. Now, the board says 3-3. Obviously, that's not the case as Cleveland just took one. But Johnson will be to the right of Thompson in the shotgun. Twin receivers to the near side, one to the far side, of a wing to the left. He'll be on the right hash mark. Pump fake. Looking for a receiver down the middle, and he's going to throw this one into the sideline. Smart play. That'll stop the clock with 1:11 left in the game.
Boy, he looks to the left. He had somebody sitting there with about 20 yards of cushion. He could have just stopped, looked back, and popped that. It's easier said than done, but
3rd and 4 now. They're going to have to get to the 33-yard line for a first down. 1:11 left here in this game. Twin receivers out to the far side now. That'll be Wise and Boyd. It'll be Baycoat and D'Angelo Thompson to the near side. Johnson to the right of Slap Thompson. Thompson back to pass. Stepping up in the pocket. He's got room to run. Going to get out to the 30. Look for the sideline. Get to the 20. And he's going to be in bounds. 1:02 here. They're going to stop the clock long enough to set the markers. Once the markers are set, the officials are going to start the clock. We'll see if they take a timeout here. Clock is still stopped. And a face mask call against the Ohio Gladiators. Didn't see a flag come out, Coach.
I did not either. I don't see a flag.
But that's going to be half the distance.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, he's picking it up now, right on the 20, Jim.
Okay, so it came in right in front of the Gladiators bench. We didn't see it. But nonetheless, a huge call. That'll be half the distance. It'll be first and goal for the Cobras at right around, we'll call it the 8-yard line from our angle. So best case scenario here, 53 seconds as the clock continues to run. Cobras coming out of the huddle about 30 yards away.
Yeah, we didn't set that good. They got to get up there.
One player coming in for the Gladiators. He'll race on. Thompson with T.J. Johnson to his left. Thompson with a dump pass into the corner. Leaping attempt by the receiver. Couldn't bring it in.
He had him.
That was Matt Wise. Just couldn't connect on it. The clock will stop with 34 seconds here. Second and goal for the Cobras. And, Coach, in terms of situation, this is the best situation you can have. A little bit of time that'll be left.
I don't know what their timeout situation is either. That's going to be, boy, you run two tights and run double dump, or you ride a tight end and then just hit right tight and then run that dump.
Baycoat, the receiver to the right now. It'll be D'Angelo Thompson to the inside. It'll be Wise and Boyd to the far side. Slap Thompson now into shotgun. T.J. Johnson to his left. 34 seconds left here in this game. Cobras trailing by a score 17-13. Thompson stepping up, firing to the back of the end zone. It's going to be knocked away. And to bring up third down for the Cobras with 27 seconds left. And again, not really much time to panic here, Coach. Everything's going the Cobras' way.
I want to tell you something. He looked like he had end zone. If he takes that ball and runs hard, there was nobody there in the center. There was a safety who was playing off the back edge of the goal line, back end, and I think he might have been real close to make it, and they smoked the timeout. I don't know how many they got. That should be it, I think.
Cobras take a timeout with 27 seconds left here. We're going to keep it right here as we wind down week 4 of the Tri-Point Football League. Cobras trailing by a score of 17-3. Third and goal from inside the 10 here. And again, not a bad situation here if you score. Not a whole lot of time left for the Ohio Gladiators, but the problem is you got to get in the end zone.
Yeah. You got 2 down territory to get it done. You have no choice. But if they're not playing up tough and they don't got anybody inside, you get through as long as it's a catching bullet, you might be able to catch them. Either that or the other good thing is you try to fan block them and run that quarterback draw in the middle. And but you better
be careful in that time. Yeah.
You better get up and do what you got to do if you don't get in.
I think we can agree that this is probably the best outing that the Cobras have had so far this year.
Yeah.
In terms of offense, defense, and special teams, it's been a complete package.
Start out a little slow, but they're picking it up. But again, they're still looking better than they did with the first couple of games. So,
and this is certainly what you look for in your offense. The development, the timing, and it has certainly been the case today. Defensively, 3 turnovers for the Cobras, as they'll now come out 2 receivers to each side. Baycoat and Thompson to the right. Wise and Boyd to the left. Movement up front. Not sure who this is going to be on. And it's going to be a false start against the Cobras. 27 seconds left. 2 plays left tonight for the Cobras as they trail 17-13. Exciting conclusion here in, we'll call it Alliance.
Okay.
It's Alliance mailing address. Duke Stadium here on the campus of Marlington High School. And we can't impress upon you how really nice this is here. Home crowd getting into it here as Thompson Webb Johnson to his right. Receivers 2 by 2. Thompson back to pass. Stepping up in the pocket. Going to get out to Johnson. Johnson at the 10. 5. Inside the 5. Down at the 3-yard line. And they're going to have to get to the line and spike it. Well, they can't spike it, Coach. They got to go for it.
They got to go.
They've got no timeouts left. 12, 10, 9. Thompson in the shotgun. He'll get the snap. Caught in the end zone! Touchdown, Cobras! They take a 19-17 lead with 2 seconds left. Dave Thompson on the pass, and I don't know who caught it. And there's flags all over the place.
That's because Coach is in the end zone.
I really wish we knew who caught that. I want to say it's Antonio Boyd. As a matter of fact, let's just say it was Boyd. With 2 seconds left here in the game, the Cobras get in the end zone. No timeouts left. And with only 2 seconds left on the clock,
they'll still have to kick the extra point.
And flags on the play, but I think they're going to be inconsequential with just 2 seconds left. So dead ball, unsportsmanlike against Cleveland. And sometimes that's okay.
That's a good job. I'll tell you what, I didn't think they were going to get it with the seconds, but that was perfect. Now, what they got to do is make sure they get this field goal.
And I believe that ball was right on 11-yard line, Coach. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll say 11-yard TD pass. As Ben Lyons will come on for the extra point. Steve Anthony to snap. Townsend for the hold. Snap is back. Kick is up. And it is good. 2 seconds left here in this game. The Cobras take a 20-17 lead over the undefeated Ohio Gladiators. And Coach, this game's been everything that we thought it would be.
Yeah, it's just this cannot. Come on, guys, get to the sidelines, do your thing, play football, be classy about it.
So 2 seconds left here. There'll have to be a kickoff, and I'm sure we'll see this one stay on the ground.
That's a squib all the way.
Barring anything extraordinary, Cobra should be able to keep this one on a short kick, cover that. Now the Gladiators have returned 2 kickoffs for touchdowns so far this year. So the capability is there, and that's something the Cobras are really going to have to watch out for.
Yeah, but I'd just say squib it.
Cobras looking to get their first win against the Gladiators in some time. Lost both matchups last year with them in the Tri-Point Football League. I think it's safe to say that Coach Adam Rogerson is very excited. Now, keep in mind, too, the Cobras will kick from the 20-yard line after the penalty coming up after the unsportsmanlike conduct on the touchdown.
The whole key to this is
Ben Lyons wants to call in the kicking team and maybe review this.
I would kick it as far out of here as you can. Actually, I would kick it out of bounds. I'd kick it as far as you can to one side and let it roll out of bounds. Of course, then they could say they want it re-kicked.
Antoine Miller out of Bluffton University back to return for the Ohio Gladiators. 2 seconds left here in this game. And an exciting one it has been. And it's going to stay on the ground. It's going to be touched. Picked up at the 48, pitched over to the sideline, and pitched back. And it's going to be a game of hot potato right now, Coach. Miller looking to get to the outside. Flag on the play. And that's going to be the game. Another flag comes in. And
There's
3 flags come in, but I think these are all going to offset, Coach.
Yeah,
that should be the end of the game. We'll get the officials' call.
Just got to end this. If they were smart, just end the game.
I'll see the officials' flags. It came all from all over the place.
Well, you have 2 penalties here. You got the penalty hitting out of bounds. So you're going to offset. Call it.
Assistant coach and owner Jesse Caldwell out there talking to the officials. We'll see if they can. I believe 1 or 2 of these flags came after the play. And judging by the reaction on the Cobra sideline,
they're killing it.
That's going to be it. And that's going to be the end of the game here at Duke Stadium. In Alliance, the Cobras come to Marlington. They get the 20-17 win over the previously undefeated Ohio Gladiators. We're going to step aside for a timeout. When we come back, we'll give you a scoring recap and wrap it up here in Week 4. You're listening to Cleveland Cobras football here on Western Reserve Radio and the iMedia1 network.
During the fall and winter, grilling season never ends, and Gessler Propane is your local supplier that makes sure you get your hard-earned money's worth. Why go to gas exchanges to pay higher prices for tanks not filled to capacity? Gessler Propane makes sure you're prepared for year-round grilling with 100% filled tanks at a reasonable cost. See Bob Monday through Friday 10 to 4 and Saturday 9 to 3 at Gessler Propane, 702 Youngstown Poland Road, Struthers, or call 330-755-9119. Gessler Propane. They got gas.
Hi, it's Mark Means, host of By All Means, Tuesdays at 5, right here on Western Reserve Radio, WRDB, The Scourge.
Professional, fast, highly knowledgeable, easy to work with. These are real reviews by customers of Sandrock Concrete. For all your concrete block, brick, stone, stonework, and excavating needs, call Jerry Sandrock. For your free estimate at 330-506-0013. Sandrock Concrete is fully insured and ready to make your ideas a reality. Sandrock Concrete is a proud supporter and sponsor of Mahoning Valley High School football on Western Reserve Radio.
Youngstown, Warren, and Salem's local and national sports talk can be found on TuneIn and the Live 365 app at Western Reserve Radio, WRDB, The Scourge.
Wrap-up time here from Duke Stadium and on the campus of Marlington High School here in Alliance. Cobras pull out the last-minute win. Actually, last-second win, excuse me.
Yeah.
Over the Ohio Gladiators by a score of 20-17. After a scoreless first quarter, the Ohio Gladiators would get on the board on an 18-yard field goal by Shropshire. That would give the Gladiators a 3-0 lead. And with 15 seconds left in the first half, Dave Slap Thompson would go 3 yards into the end zone to give the Cobras a 7-3 lead. Third quarter action, both teams would exchange field goals coming at 8:51 and 5 minutes. As the Lions would get a 23-yard field goal, Shropshire would get a 31-yard field goal. And then Danny Skalecki would hit Grant Lisk on a 15-yard touchdown pass. That would give the Gladiators a 17-13 lead. And then the Cobras would drive downfield. And with only 2 seconds left, Dave Thompson would hit Antonio Boyd on an 11-yard touchdown pass to give the Cobras a 20-17 win after the conversion. The Cobras improved to 3-1. And the Gladiators will drop to 3-1. Coach, a lot of improvement on the offense, and we saw from week 1. Again, the defense has played so well that you kind of have that time to work.
Right.
And certainly you're starting to see the timing now as Dave Thompson, and even with multiple running backs and receivers in there, is really putting things together.
Yeah, and it's coming around. They still, to get where they need to be, there's got to be more and more each week, each practice. They got to get stronger and better. They got to click as an offense. Looked a lot better today when the pressure came. They obviously really came together and were able, with seconds to go, win this game. So they're getting better. Outstanding job. Cheers to the Gladiators. I mean, outstanding football team. They're big up front, and they just, unfortunately, they had some luck, and then they had the luck taken away. So, but that's part of the game.
Well, the Cleveland Cobras winning the turnover battle today. They get 3 turnovers, capitalize on those, and that's a sign of a good team, Coach, when you can create those turnovers and then get that complimentary play from the offense.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. And again, I've said it before, I say it again, and I say it all 10 times during a season, even during the high school. The team that makes the least mistakes will always win.
Certainly that was the case tonight. The Cobras get away with a 20-17 win over the Ohio Gladiators. And again, we want to remind you the Tri-Point Football League will be on hiatus next week as it will celebrate the 4th of July weekend. We'll be back the week after that. Make sure you tune into all our social media for updated events and other information as we continue this Tri-Point Football League season. Of course, we talked about high school football coming up in August too. One thing after another here, before you know it, we'll be back, and the Youngstown Phantoms will return here in September and October as well. So plenty going on here on the iMedia1 network. So for the coach, Bob Gessler, for Dave Ferris back in Youngstown, keeping an eye on us, I'm Jim Craven. Thanks for joining us again. One last time here tonight, the Cleveland Cobras, with 2 seconds left, they get the 20-17 win over the Ohio Gladiators. Thanks for joining us. And we hope that all of you have a fantastic night and a great 4th of July weekend. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
We thank you for joining us for this special presentation of Western Reserve Radio. And we now return to our regularly scheduled programming.
Don't think they have what it takes to stay in this hunt. As gross as it may seem, the Twins are underperforming in my mind, and they have the best roster in the Central, and it may be a team worth laying a price. No, not at minus 190, but again, minus 135 or lower. That's going to be something that I'm seeking out come toward the post-All-Star break. I'd say is probably what I'd be looking to pull the trigger.
And another fantastic example of why the futures markets need to be shopped around. Minus 190 at DraftKings, minus 250 at BetMGM for Minnesota to win the American League Central. That is a big, big gap. Not a huge gap, but it's sizable enough to where, okay, something is clearly different there.